a check-in, come on, let's go. It's the AM Nasty Big Hello.
Hello.
It's not static, AM radio.
It's the Cool Ben Red Hot Nielsen Show. Let's go.
Salud.
Everybody's tuning in, even my wife.
Mommy likes too.
And those Macromella intros are cutting like a knife.
Hot take alert.
Hey, it's Mitch texting in. He's your dealer for life.
Careful, that cake's hot.
Let's crack at 6 o'clock and log you with some sirloin bites.
That's a hot take. Wow, scalding hot take. Wow, scalding hot take. Wow, scalding hot take.
What is going on, AM Nasties? Thank you very much for being here. Dusty and Lieutenant Eric with you this morning. You two travel along for the ride as well. You can text us anytime. It's 780-218-9999 if you are listening on TuneIn or at EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Of course, if you're watching on YouTube, you can just hit us up in the Nasty Chat this morning. Who needs a conch request this morning? Hey, how about a conch request for all you weathermen out there, eh? Or anybody working outdoors today? No. That's a tough one. I saw some people blowing off the sidewalk at a school near my house as I was coming in today.
Before pulling out of the driveway, which
Yes.
I'm lucky enough to park in a garage,
decided
decided
that's nice.
I'm going to shovel off half of it just so I don't get the tire mark.
Ah, very smart.
No gloves.
What?
3 minutes, and
What?
I was.
You idiot.
I still can't feel my tips.
You loser.
Yeah, it had to be done, but
Wait a second. So do you not have gloves?
well, I have gloves, but I'm going to, I didn't bring them out. They're inside. I keep them inside for the big shovel. But I'm just going to.
So you don't wear your gloves to work in the morning?
What, driving gloves?
Yeah, well,
What am I, Gazzola?
Have you seen Tommy Gazzola roll in?
Little pair of leather, like, the,
yeah.
Tommy,
Tommy Gazzola comes in like a -30 sleeping bag.
I've never been driving glove guy. I like to keep. There's a pair in the vehicle in the back, like just in case of
This
emergency.
is weird to me. Like before I leave the house, I put on my hat. I put on a toque over my hat, which drives Maddie nuts. And then I drive, and then I put on my gloves. I get into the vehicle for like the first 2 or 3 minutes. I'll drive with my toque and gloves on. Then things warm up, so
Yeah,
I
and
take
you
them
take 'em
off.
off, okay.
Then we get here. Before I get out of the truck, I put my gloves back on, put my toque back on, and then come in.
Yeah, gloves to me are just for work or play.
Really?
Driving, I don't really need. But in the case of
I'm a big glove guy myself.
But are you talking like big, like Sorel, like your?
I got nice.
the big
I got
mitts?
nice gloves out there.
They're not the
I
little
don't know if
leather.
you saw them when he came in.
They're
No,
not-
they're good for flooding. They're my flooding
Okay,
gloves. They're my flooding gloves. So
Real
I
good
wore
hockey
those.
dad gloves. Hey, you get the good smack.
Yeah,
Good
nice.
pop.
Yeah, that's good too. I got all types of gloves. I got fancy gloves.
Ooh.
I got like the old classic sort of like puffier gloves that
yeah.
you would have had like maybe as a kid.
For any occasion.
I don't have any mittens. I've got the ones that are kind of woolly, and then the top comes off, and you can use your fingertips.
Well, wearing
for
the
certain
toque over the
things.
cap, of course you do.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I always love those. I remember the first pair I got of those where it's like, wait a second. The top comes off, and then you can fold it back, and it velcros right here, and you can use your fingertips for things.
I
And
can
then
smoke now.
When they get cold, you get well, that was always amazing to me. Man, I can't believe you don't wear gloves. It's -30 right now.
Well, I walk from my house into the vehicle. As I said, I have a
That's
pair.
a- that's a-
There's a pair in the vehicle if I need it. There's a candle in
But
there.
think
There's-
about today.
there's
If you
the
would have
kit.
had the gloves when you shoveled, your hands wouldn't have almost frozen off.
I'm not complaining. I'm just saying
Wow.
that's what it took. Half the driveway, and you couldn't even. So as Norman the Combine says too, 6 o'clock or loggers, if you do keep them outside to chill, you might want to bring them in. Even that damn good beer, will turn on you there.
Wheels is in, the man in the chair. Good morning, everybody. AM Nasties. Did anybody try to order the Oilers meal from Popeyes off Uber Eats yesterday? I did. I was going to get an Oilers Collector's Cup, but the price was $374. Well, we told you, Wheels, it was going to be a little bit more when you ordered it online.
Hey, it's an All-Star. This is the
We said it, yeah.
forthcoming All-Star Cup here, right?
It's $16.99 in store, $374 online. Wheels, are you sure that you didn't order like 18 of them?
Judging by how dirty he keeps his eyeglasses,
Yeah.
I am not putting it past him.
The Nielsen Show is coming to you from the Popeyes Louisiana Kitchen studio, where the Oilers Collector Cups are now available. The first one is available. Zach Hyman is currently available, only available for 11 days, started on the 8th. Then they'll rotate into Nurse, Ekholm, and Nuge. Nuge will be available starting on Remembrance Day, or not Remembrance Day, Valentine's Day, all the way up until the 25th. Get them as part of the Oilers meal, only available at Popeyes.
They took care of us pretty good yesterday, would you
Holy
not say?
smokes,
eh?
we had a nice Popeyes lunch yesterday, boys. During the meeting, we had a meeting for an hour and 40 minutes yesterday. I'll say strange things are afoot at EST. I thought it was was it not a productive meeting?
I'll just say this, P1.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's good. Trev, what do you think Practicum or Zacticum thought of the meeting yesterday?
Zacticum.
Yeah, he seemed to like it. He was kind of overwhelmed, like I was in my first meeting, but no, he liked it. He told me it was enjoyable, and he's gonna get more comfortable as we got him for 4 months. That's
we did.
awesome.
Oh, yeah,
like
we
that's
did.
sweet. So he's by the 4 month stretch, he'll be golden.
It's a long haul with this kid. And one of the things that was discussed during the almost 2-hour meeting yesterday was Maddie wanted us to talk about, like, once a month, everybody has a role and we clean the building. Classic Awanik. And anyway, as soon as the meeting was over, Zacticum took out the garbage.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like he grabbed
He
the
was even
Popeyes
looking at the
garbage, he
table
got the
whenever
can
somebody was
there.
done with something, he'd-
Yeah, he was
yeah,
doing,
yeah.
I was just like, holy, look at this guy.
It's a good sign, yeah.
This guy's a real go-getter, you know?
But why would Maddie say, like, just give it to him? We got free cleaning for 4 months here, right? I mean, come on.
Yeah, that's a really good point.
That's part of the job.
Somebody should have pointed out, like, even if we kind of just looked at Maddie and just sort of pointed to Zacticum, like,
free labor.
I want him to write back to Nate and be like, how was your practicum? Well, I vacuumed once every 4 weeks, you know?
He even told me, he's like, I'm surprised they didn't give me like the cleaning duties.
Did he say that?
Yeah.
Well, he will have a role. One of the things I suggested, because like there's vacuuming, there's dusting, there would be taking out the garbage. Tommy Gazzola loves to clean the washroom. I mean, he likes doing that.
Smells like a pool in
I
there,
think
eh?
about like the cleaning of the windows and stuff. And a tidier, like maybe somebody just sort of tidies up with things around.
A feather duster.
Yeah, a feather duster for sure. But I suggested that every month during chore week, we draft the chores. Right? Yeah. So I don't know, like if you had first pick of a chore draft around the office, what would you take?
Like,
I'd be garbage out.
you and I said we don't mind vacuuming. Like,
Yeah.
It's a nice duty.
I
You
like
feel
vacuuming.
accomplished,
That
you
would
get
be my
something done.
pick.
But, like,
Vacuuming would be your first pick.
there's a lot
So
into the
satisfying.
vacuum. Well, and then the cords, and like that could be a pain in the.
The cords can get annoying.
It's also a pretty big office.
I already said I'll be
this
your
is
bottle
not a
boy.
quick vacuum.
I will take all the bottles in all the time.
You're gonna be the
I'm
bottle
right by
boy.
the depot. I don't mind. I almost like the smell. Scalding hot take.
I think I would like to dust. I love using that Swiffer duster. And we have a Swiffer duster at home. I love
Hey,
Swiffer
put on a little
dusting.
apron and away
Oh,
you go.
yeah. Actually, whoever's dusting has to wear a sexy maid apron.
Full Mrs. Doubtfire.
Yeah. Ooh, but you're not on fire. Belineski says, sounds like you guys need a Swiffer sponsorship.
Oh.
Yes, we do. Or if I want Maddie to come. Maddie would be pissed today if he comes in and I go, hey, I found a cleaning service on the show today that says they'll come by once a month for a quick plug online. Maddie would be like, no, that's our responsibility.
Yeah, it's
we
the
have,
money, the money.
we have to do this on our own. But Maddie, it's taken care of. No, we will clean.
Coming from the
once
guy
a
with
month.
one arm, too, hey?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, real interesting. Oh, and you guys are going to have to do it this month because my arm's not working.
How much
right.
is going to milk this one?
What a softie. What a softie. Bones is in it, says, did Zacticum have a beer? No, Zacticum had a 2 Hoots.
Yeah.
And it was
Tall boy.
I felt bad. getting him onto the 2 Hoots. It was a 2 Hoots tall boy. And maybe he was buzzed a little bit. Maybe that's why he went straight to the garbage after and started like taking out garbage and stuff. He
In a drunken stupor, hey?
God love the kid. He has 1 2 Hoots and he's taking out garbage. He gets his garbage bag. He puts all of our Popeyes garbage into a bag. And I said, hey, man, I dropped the truck thing on him. I said, just leave it with me. I'll throw it in the back of the truck. Take it somewhere. Because we don't have like an outdoor garbage can here. So we're pawning our garbage off on other places. But anyway. Oh, yeah, I guess I shouldn't have said that.
Yeah.
But maybe he was buzzing so much because he also like took the other garbage out and there was like nothing in it yet. It was like almost empty still. And he pulls it out. He goes, "Oh man, there's not much in here." I said, "Well, take the Popeyes garbage, put it in this one, then put the new bag in there." And he's like, "Yeah." I was just like, "All right, Zach to come
Put that in the report.
He added 2 hoots. He's feeling pretty good right now." So that was, that was good. 780-218-9999. Guys, did you deep dive during the meeting on why Tom shaves his face in sections?
Yeah,
Did you hear this on Oil Stream?
Yeah, please go on.
I don't know what's
He left
going
the
on with
chin
Tommy.
going, didn't he?
Yeah,
He's-
so I'm
he's got a
looking.
beard
I'm
going
watching
on?
Tommy Gazzola, and I'm like, man, he had like this little mustache starting to come in.
Did he?
Yeah, and he said he shaved yesterday morning, but like there was little like.
That's coming in blonde though, hey? Like it's
No,
a,
that's
or
a
is
little
it
bit darker.
Really?
That's right, because his cheeks look completely sort of clean.
Yeah, yeah.
And then he had this little peach fuzz on the bottom of his chin, and I was like, I said, "Did you shave? Like, what's going on? Are you
Koch
growing a
going on here.
mustache?" And
Yeah.
he's like, "No. I shaved just here, or here." And I said, "Yeah, but you got little peach fuzz on your chin." He goes, "Yeah, I didn't shave there." And I said, "What are you talking about? You shaved your upper lip, but you just shave your chin, even though you're growing like weird little peach fuzzies here." It was, I don't know. It was like when I shave, unless like if I have the beard going a little bit, I'll shave my neck, clean it up a bit. I should probably do that this weekend. But when I shave my whole face. That's just
You straight razor. You put on the
just boom, 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 boom,
yeah. You
done.
don't, but you don't use the.
But Tommy's
electric,
like, I'll shave here today.
Yeah.
Tomorrow I'll shave here, and then like the next day I'll shave right here.
is he doing
I don't know.
electric or is he doing like?
I don't know. I don't know what he's doing.
Because you
I
gotta
don't know
get
what
that.
he's
You
doing.
gotta get that. You gotta get the scraps off there. You can't leave that going on there, especially with the clean cheeks. Like I just
Yeah, it was.
I ain't rocking that.
That was bizarre. Anyway, it was a good meeting yesterday. Popeyes, we had a bunch of gift certificates from Popeyes, not ones that we give away to you. Popeyes gave us like a couple of bigger gift certificates to use for lunches and things on shows and stuff. Anyway, so the boys went and picked up Popeyes yesterday, and I have to say, and YouTube Trev, you had the poutine as well. The Popeyes Cajun fries poutine might be my favorite fast food poutine of all time. And I'm a pretty big fast food poutine guy. Like some of them, like McDonald's, kind of a waste of time. I've always had a soft spot for the Burger King poutine. It was
Okay.
kind of one of the first places to drop a poutine on us years and years and years ago. And that Burger King gravy hits a little bit
They
differently.
rocking curds as well. Is
Oh,
that
yeah. But that Popeyes, it totally caught me off guard. I didn't even order it.
It passed
The boys just got like an extra poutine, and I was like, you know what? I'll give this poutine a go.
I could only do the eye test, and he opened it up.
Trev, tell
And
me
I
about
was
this poutine.
Speechless.
Yeah, I'm a big poutine guy,
Yeah.
and that slapped. Like I'm still thinking about it. I was thinking about it last night. I'm definitely going back there. Everything about it, the spice. They're really generous on the sauce and cheese, which is like
Oh, it was
a lot of places.
unreal.
A lot of places jip you on that. So Popeyes, they definitely didn't, and yeah, it was so good. Yeah, oh yeah, I love it.
I know many of you have probably tried Popeyes if you listen to the show. But if you have not tried the Popeyes poutine yet, I'm telling you, try it. You'll be tweeting at us. You'll be texting in being like, boys, you were right. Like it's completely changed my Popeyes order moving forward. I used to be, oh, give me the Cajun fries. They're good. But now, like, it's a must have.
I was mac and cheese, mashed potatoes, and then whatever else. But that poutine is skyrocketed to the top.
You know what I didn't even have yesterday was any nugs. We got all those nugs.
You had community nugs.
I ordered community nugs, and I didn't even have one myself. I totally forgot that we had them until somebody on Twitter last night pointed out and was like, the nugs right in the middle for everybody. Great play. And I was like, damn, I didn't even have a nug.
Well, I'd already ate myself.
Yeah, you
and
did.
then I went back into the community.
Did you
nugs
get
as
into
well.
the community
hell
nugs
yeah,
too?
yeah.
Unbelievable, this
Probably
guy.
an even 10.
Man, that's real good. 780-218-9999, 780-218-9999, or you can hit us up in the nasty chat as well. It is game day. The Oilers and the Detroit Red Wings. We will get into that as we work our way through the show this morning as well. What are you expecting tonight from the Oilers and the Red Wings? You can hit us up, 780-218-9999.
Another thing you guys were talking about, are they coasting in there on E right now? Is that the type of thing that you're...
Well, that's the thing. You're like, that game against Chicago, was that like the beginning of the end of this winning streak? Or was it like you got away with one, it wasn't a loss, you reload, and you string together 2 or 3 more
Feels
dubs?
like Kramer in that car
Yeah.
with the guy, and they grab each other's hand, and they're going until the tank runs out, and you don't know when it's gonna be. But
Somebody texted in. Was it on this show yesterday? Was it on Oil Stream? It might have been on our show yesterday about how he was going to the game. No, maybe it was Oil Stream.
I think it was
Anyway, he said he's going to the game and he's worried. He's worried. He's from Windsor. I think it's Brandon from Windsor. Do we have Windsor marked on the map yet? I don't think we have Windsor on the map yet. Let me write Windsor in here. Anyway, he said he's going to the game, and he's a little bit worried. YouTube Trev, you follow this team with your emotion on your sleeve. Are you worried about tonight's game after the game against the Chicago Blackhawks?
Not really. Like it definitely wasn't their best showing. Everyone knows that, but no, I'm not worried at all. This team, they're maturing. It should be a good game. The Detroit Red Wings, they've got a lot of talent, and I don't know. Whenever the Oilers play higher end teams, I find that they're more prepared for those ones. It seems, and they maybe. I really do think it was the Chicago Blackhawks. They might have wanted that one a little bit more than the Oilers did. I think the battle effort was there a little bit more, especially in the third period. So, I honestly, I'm not worried at all. It should be a good game.
I'm not overly confident that the Oilers will stretch it in again tonight. However, if I had to pick kind of between the two, like, are you nervous? Or you think they'll be okay? I would lean towards I think they'll be okay tonight.
Another team in the thick of a wildcard race, and as Trev pointed out, it's more evenly matched. As much as you want to say the Oilers get away from playing down to teams, that is kind of sometimes they overlook things or whatever, and to Chicago's credit as well. But this could actually be a really good game tonight.
Well,
for neutral.
I hope it is. I hope it is a really good game tonight. I mean, let's see them tested and kind of grind out. Like I know in the perfect world you want them to win.
Yeah.
By a significant margin every single game, but grind out a 4-3 victory tonight against the Detroit Red Wings. That last time they played the Wings, it was a wild one. They ended up losing in a shootout. Detroit has won 4 of 5. They went on a 3-game road trip through California, beat the Sharks, beat the Kings, beat the Ducks. The Oilers, just over a week ago, went on a 3-game road trip through California, beat the Sharks, beat the Kings, beat the Ducks. So they've got that in common as well.
The Red Wings off since Sunday, I do believe, as well. A little bit of rest and relaxation.
They haven't played since Sunday?
I do believe.
Yeah, January 7th. So they've been home from the road trip, had some time. It would be a good matchup
Getting
tonight.
all fat and sassy off that Little Caesars pizza. Sitting around.
That's exactly what they'll do.
Yeah.
How about Tube Socks in the nasty chat this morning? Saying, I've never eaten any food at Costco. Not even samples.
Is this Tuesday?
That reminds me of Will Ferrell in the back of the car in Step Brothers being like, I'm not going to call him Dad.
Even if there's a fire.
Even if there's a fire. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, not even the samples. That's exactly what I thought of, Trev. That's right. That's weird. Tube Socks, do you go to Costco often? Like, are you a Costco member? If you're not a Costco member, I get it. But if you're a Costco member and you've never once tried a sample, that seems weird.
I'm not a member. I've never dropped any amount of money on food there. I've had samples. I've gone there as a.
Well, sometimes you can't even get in if you don't have your membership.
Yeah, I don't.
I always feel bad. Sometimes I'll try to sneak in without my membership, and you wait till like there's a big run and you sort of walk in the middle. But you know how hard it is to hide as a 6'5" guy?
It's like Augusta there, hey?
Oh yeah, it's pretty wild.
You got to know somebody or.
Pat Maroon's Bib says, expectations for tonight after the wet fart on Tuesday. Lots of goals. Nuge and Kane / Janmark goal after hanging out at the Pistons game. Possibly a tilt. Maybe there's, you know what? Does Evander Kane not need to fight somebody? Now, I know Tommy yesterday on Oil Stream claimed that he's pretty banged up. Which I was just like, man, if he's that banged up that it's affecting his play to be like a non-factor in the last game,
We talked about this.
sit him down
yesterday.
and mix in Sam Gagner if he's healthy.
Sure.
To give him a game off or two. Not simply because he really hasn't done much since December 1st, but if he's hurt, give him some time to catch up to speed a little bit. But But in the past, you've seen Evander Kane fight somebody and kind of get his game going again. So I wonder if that is required at some point. Jeff on the nasty chat says, Dusty, you rebel you. Me too. Well, that's probably as far as I'll go on breaking the law. You know, I just
Breaking the law.
it's
I mean, look, when you're rocking those gloves with the reversible finger thing and the toque over that, you're wild. He's a wild boy.
I'm not the only person. Somebody already said in the nasty chat, or maybe it was in the Paris Jewelers inbox, other people wear a toque over their hat too. Like, because what am I supposed to do? I'm going to wear a hat on the shows all day. So I'm supposed to carry my hat in while I wear a toque? No, the toque's big enough. Like I love our Edmonton Sports Talk toque. That's my favorite toque going right now.
Hooded jacket?
No hooded jacket. Put the toque over the hat. It's not the end of the world.
Well,
I feel like Tommy would come in and slap me in the face.
Oh, yeah, that's a fashion faux pas for him. He wouldn't be caught dead with the old
I'm going to invite Tommy somewhere, and then I'm going to roll in wearing jeans and a blazer and a hat with a toque over the top.
A night out. The two of you, a night out. And
well, it wouldn't be a night out because Tommy would pass out immediately from shock. He'd just be out, done. Down goes Tommy again. Juan is in this morning and says, are the school buses running this morning? It's a great question. Anybody tied into if school buses aren't running due to the coldness in your area, text in and let us know, and we'll pass it along. We'll pass it along this morning. Andrew E. is in and says the Oilers have gone 5 straight games with allowing 2 goals or less. Maybe we can give them the benefit of the doubt that they're starting to play good defensive hockey, and tonight won't be goal night.
There you go.
I just know saying that means, though, it's going to be a 6-4 game tonight.
Well, and maybe a bounce back, too, for the cool bet, from the goal. I mean, we were promising, McDonald's breakfast left, right, and center following the Chicago game, right? We got to kind of get back to reality here.
That was a tough look from last game. Raptors plus 10. Didn't even have Siakam.
Bing.
When they announced that they didn't have Siakam, I was like, that plus 10 might be in jeopardy. But it worked out okay. I would assume you see Pickard. So Calvin Pickard, so far this season, has a .904 save percentage. Technically better than Skinner, who's got his back up to .901, but Skinner's been on an absolutely tear lately. His save percentage his last 15 games is like .929. But if Calvin Pickard's rolling out a .904 save percentage, should they mix him in a little bit more to try to keep Skinner's workload off of the 60-game start pace that he's on right now? What say you, LTE?
That's like elevating Kane right now, to kind of get him going. I don't know. I have room for both options. I mean, clearly tonight, the Pickard, you go to him, but overall, with a larger workload overall moving forward, I kind of like the what do you want to call 1A, 1B tandem, whatever it is. I like Skinner. What he's doing right now is good, and I've said he's good. I don't think it's the greatness, though. He's not that top tier. And if you can spell
I don't think you want Skinner playing 60 games.
And if you can spell another guy off and get that confidence going as well, and because you're going to need, it's nothing against Stuart Skinner, but I just feel in my loins and in my bones that you're going to need somebody else as well down the stretch at a certain time, and you might as well get him going or at least get that motor running and keeping it warm a bit. So, yes, I would agree. I'm not doing a 50-50 split, but I would like to see Pickard getting a little more time, even though Stuart Skinner has been, as you said, turning on and playing really well as of late.
904 save. If Pickard can just give you a 904 or a 905 the rest of the year, you can mix him into games.
He's your
the
steady
Oilers,
Eddie,
the Oilers should be able to win games if Pickard's dropping a 904, 905 save percentage on you. I think that is, and this is nothing against Stuart Skinner. I'm not saying play Pickard more because Skinner's not getting the job done. Skinner is certainly getting the job done, but I just think you have to be careful. Skinner's going to start every single playoff game for you. If you play him 60, 62, 63 games, you're mixing in maybe a deep playoff run, and you're looking at like 80, 85 games to get it all done this year for Stuart Skinner. And I don't know. I don't know if that's ideal. And I think Pickard has been capable enough that roll them out there once every 4 games.
In a perfect world, you'd like Skinner to be that. But I think we can all kind of come to the agreement that maybe right now he's not that stallion that you ride with.
What say you? 780-218-9999. 780-218-9999. All right, here we go. Here's the bus update. Man, we got a lot of bus updates. This is great. Thanks, everybody. Buses are not running in Leduc today. Once again, these are report. I don't know why somebody would fake this on us. Like
Bad
I
form
think
if
this
you
would be
are,
this
yeah.
would be good information.
Double check.
Who wakes up in the morning and goes, "Oh man, if the boys ask for a bus update today, I'm going to totally lie to them." Like nobody would do that. So buses aren't running in Leduc. Buses aren't running in Spruce Grove. Buses are canceled at Ardrossan Elementary. St. Albert buses are canceled today. Parkland School Division buses are canceled today. Elk Island public school buses aren't running. And Mikey says the bus update, buses canceled for Devon, Spruce Grove, Stony Plain. Schools are still open, though. That comes in from Mikey, a flip mitt glove driving wearer. Right? That's nice. That's a good idea. Flip the fingers, drive. That's nice. I've done that myself a lot in the past. That's real good. Wow, I'm overwhelmed by the amount of bus updates. That's real
I'd like
nice.
to see like one bus running.
Well,
Like, is there one out there that's like, we're going to, you know what?
probably Beaumont. There's probably some ridiculous legislation in
Of course.
Beaumont that's
Gotta
like
keep those buses running.
It's minus 35,
Yeah.
but the buses are running.
On
Nobody
their
can
streets of
stay
gold.
anywhere.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Anyway, a conch to everybody for the bus updates. Belineski says it currently feels like it's minus 37 in Edmonton.
But always 10 degrees warmer out in Beaumont.
Oh, yeah. What's the temperature in Beaumont today? It's plus 12. What are you talking
Beaumont
about?
air, baby.
780-218-9999. We got to get into some. Let's lay out the show for you. Lay out the show. If you're looking for something special for Valentine's Day, get it done with our crew at PJ's. I Want Nasties just flooding Paris Jewelers for Valentine's Day this year. And all of our significant others end up getting like the same thing. It's just like, oh, what's this? Oh, it's the same thing that Tube Socks got his wife. You know,
Big EST pendants.
Yeah. Can you imagine getting to that spot? Like, we've got the beer. Go pick up your EST pendant, and it's heavy.
That'd look good with you with the dangly earring, the Tyreek Hill.
It's like something we'd wear if we were about to get drafted 2nd or 3rd overall in the NFL draft. It's just like, damn.
Good bite.
How'd this guy have the money for this already? That's wild. 780-218-9999. 22 locations across the country. ParisJewelers.com to check them out. And they don't just have like the fancy, pretty things. They got the cool stuff too, the Marvel stuff, the Star Wars stuff. It's a pretty sweet setup there. We're going to discuss these possible kickoff rule changes in the Canadian Football League. We'll do that here in the 6 o'clock hour. Huge return to the show today. Huge.
You may have heard it already if you were paying
We mixed
attention.
it in a little bit earlier. But we'll go there before 7 o'clock today as well. Luke Gazdic's going to pop by just after 7. Cool bet hotline of the day. We'll dive into that Oilers game, obviously. 7:30 today. I got beef. For Acme Meats. Eat fresh, eat local, eat Acme. I got beef. What happens on I got beef today, eh?
Well, first, for you and I, the first beef of the new year following the holiday and everything such as that.
I got beef with you not bringing gloves with you.
I have gloves. I don't need them. These are produce hands, baby. These have been weathered after decades in the produce department, cracking and screaming, and there's really no feeling left in them anyways.
I spent 3 days per week in grade 11 and 12 in the freezer section before school at Overweighty Foods. You don't think I can handle a little bit of cold? Mind you, I did wear gloves in the freezer department, and there were like weird sort of stickiness to them. Remember those gloves?
Yeah. I know exactly what you're talking about there.
Yeah. I had my own pair.
But this was the worst season for working in those departments with that little bit of water, and then you get so dry, and you just it's It's like the Grand Canyon, you know?
It's a
It
mess.
cracks all over the place.
But if we all of a sudden had to be like, oh, building's on fire, let's go to a muster point, would you have gloves right now?
No, I put my hands in my pockets. What's,
I just feel like you need to have gloves.
I have a hat on. I put my hood over my hat and put my hands in my pockets, and I'd be nice.
Trev, do you have gloves here today?
Nope. I'm with LT. My
Are you guys serious right now? It's minus 37.
Do you have some in your car?
nope. I got hockey gloves if that counts. No, but unfortunately my hands are always cold, so it doesn't even matter. It sucks.
Circulation, eh?
Yeah, bad circulation. It sucks.
Why? Okay, so if your hands are always cold, why don't you wear gloves?
That wouldn't help. I tried, Dusty.
Yeah. This is a blood thing.
Yeah, it's not good.
You guys are nuts.
But yeah, I'm with them. Just
How many of
hands
you
in your pockets?
I have to ask you this today. Not you
I know why
guys.
this is throwing you so much here. It's not.
It's minus 37.
Yeah, but I'm not. If I was going for a long walk,
I think it's because I'm a parent. I'm like,
maybe
put on your
That
damn
could be it.
gloves.
No, I understand.
I'm going to
that.
get Trev a pair of those mittens that have the string. You just hang out his T-shirt right here all day.
Still wouldn't help him though.
How many of you listening right now or watching on YouTube or you're listening on TuneIn or wherever you're consuming the show today, even if you're listening on the podcast later, let me know. How many of you leave your house without gloves today? That's two guys right here.
Two guys and a daddy.
I've got like 9 pairs of gloves. I get
I have
gloves for
lots
every
of gloves.
occasion.
I own gloves. I have lots of gloves. I have mitts. I have gloves. I have them all. Like they're all at home. They're for going walking, shoveling.
What
the
are they
property,
for if they're not to wear it to work when it's minus 37?
Work and play. But driving, I don't need. Would you put a scarf on in the vehicle too? Bundle up?
Tommy does. Tommy,
What are we
rolling
doing
full
here?
Scarf.
Yeah, of course. We got to keep the face nice and.
I got beef coming up around 7:30. Although I
Sure,
apparently already
yeah,
have beef.
yeah.
Ian Rapoport, Rap Sheet will join us around 7:45 today. Kind of easy trivia for Mr. Mike's 3 questions too many for Park Mazda. Dave Naylor's going to pop by around 8:20 today. We got an orange and blue breakfast and then something else special in the 3rd hour today. Coming back permanently. We're going to set that up coming up next. Let's get to a sports update with Lieutenant Eric.
Loveless.
For Green Plan.
Mitts are off.
I'm gonna have to.
This is apparent.
It
you
is.
said it. That's all it is.
No, I feel like.
Separate yourself and then say, like, if you were living free and easy alone,
Do you realize how pissed off cavemen would be with you right now? Think about it. Back in the day when they're tracking down woolly mammoths and stuff. And they didn't even have the option to wear
a
gloves.
loincloth, yeah,
And
yeah.
now here you are with gloves,
Well-
and it's minus 37. Oh, you're not even wearing them. Here's an update.
Bill Belichick and the New England Patriots are expected to part ways later today. He'll be leaving Foxborough after 24 seasons and 6 Super Bowl titles. Yesterday, Pete Carroll dismissed after 14 years at the helm in Seattle. It's expected that he'll remain with the team in an advisory role. You can join the entire Edmonton Sports Talk crew for Super Bowl 58 at the Centric Casino Sports Bar Lounge at Centric Casino Fort Road, February 11th. Under $10 menu items. That's right, under $10 food, menu items, drink specials, and prizes throughout the day. On the ice last night, the Avalanche shut out Vegas 3-0. Vegas dropped to 3-7 in their last 10. Stars tamed the Wild 7-2. Jesper Wallstedt taking the L, stopping 27 of 34 shots in his NHL debut, while Sean Couturier with the lone goal in the shootout. Flyers over the Habs 3-2. Oilers' 3-game East swing continues tonight in Detroit as the club chase its 9th straight win. You can join Tom Gazzola for the Oil Stream pre- and post-game shows, coverage beginning at 3:30 this afternoon, right here on Edmonton Sports Talk. 13 games around the NHL tonight. Saints topping the Crusaders 4-2 out in Spruce Grove last night in the lone game around the AJ. Just one game tonight as Camrose host Drumheller. PWHL action last night. Montreal topping New York 6-2. Both those teams now with a record of 1-1, while Minnesota improved to 2-0 with a 3-1 win over Toronto. Action will resume Saturday afternoon with a pair of games. Fresh off thinking a 3-year extension, Kawhi Leonard cooking up 29 points in a 126-120 win over the Raptors. Toronto's 6-game West swing wraps up tomorrow night in Utah. 5 games around the NBA tonight, including the Lakers at home to the Suns, while the Knicks look to stretch their win streak to 6 when they visit Dallas. And back over to hockey, the Oil Kings look to snap a 2-game slide. They host the Tri-City Americans tonight from Rogers Place. Puck drop, 7 o'clock. The sports update brought to you by Green Plan, providing you with award-winning environmental planning and consulting services. Whether it's municipal, industrial, or residential, plan it right with Green Plan. Visit green-plan.ca. ANW.com or give them a call 780-455-4292.
The Nielsen Show featuring Lieutenant Eric. Only on Edmonton Sports Talk.
.37 with the Nielsen Show. Dustin Nielson and Lieutenant Eric with you. Texas and the Paris Jewelers inbox. Your chance to get your hands on that gift certificate to A&W for the text of the day. The A&W Spicy Dill Pickle Mama Burger is back. Also available as a Buddy Burger. Starting at just $3.99. Grass-fed beef burgers. Topped with pickles, an onion slice, real cheddar cheese, and slathered in creamy, spicy dill pickle sauce. Available for a limited time only.
You know what?
At A&W.
That's a hell of a write-up.
It is,
An onion. You just say onions, whatever. An onion slice.
Whoever
Slathered.
is their copywriter,
It's...
I'm assuming the slathered line has got them a promotion.
Damn well should.
It would around here. Come up with a line like that. That's amazing. Got some text messages on this whole gloves thing. Rebecca down in Calgary says it's a sign of immaturity to not wear gloves at this point. Your reaction, boys?
This is... You're twisting words now. We're all twisting words. I'm talking about a 5 to 7 minute commute in the morning in a heated vehicle. I don't need to wear gloves. I'm sorry. Do you put ski pants on too when you get in your truck every morning? Big snowsuit?
Well, no, that's because my pants would cover part of my body, right? I'm not saying if you.
Why wear a jacket? Why wear a jacket? You got a shirt on. I mean, we can.
But my arms could be bare.
Wear along. You got a hoodie. This should be good enough. You're all covered. Look, I don't see any skin. Put some mitts on, and you're all.
Hey, it was,
should we,
it was,
wearing
it
a
was
balaclava on the.
It was Rebecca who said it.
This is, again, for the commute. That's it. It's a heated car. My hands are fine.
But what happens if you blow out a tire?
I have gloves in the vehicle. Emergency. You have a candle in there. You have a few granola bars. I'm not eating the granola bars. If I'm not lighting the candle. Like, there are things in the vehicle you use if you have to. There's a pair of winter boots in there too if I need. But I don't need them. This is so stupid. We're taking something innocent and twisting it. Oh, Eric never wears gloves. What an idiot. I wear gloves. I have lots of gloves. Mitts, gloves, the whole bit. Man.
Bob Loblaw in Lloyd. I take gloves even though I go from a heated garage to a short walk to the office. I'm with Dusty.
Okay.
Be prepared. What if there's an accident or you decided to shovel? Well, you shoveled today without gloves, and you said your hands almost froze off.
And that was the example of this morning's temperature. I shoveled half my driveway, 3 minutes. And I'm just saying that's the temperature outside. The skin's going. So yeah, it's.
But
if I was doing the whole driveway, I'd put gloves on. It's the example this morning.
Boys, I'm a PE teacher. I haven't worn pants to work in like a decade. Gloves, LOL. I have a 45-minute commute. I do have emergency stuff packed though. That's in from Bergie this morning. Rick is the apprentice that I have worked with on every job ever. Where's your tools? Oh, at home? Has everything, but it's at home. Doing what it's doing best, not working for you.
I feel like John Tortorella here.
Defending Kevin Hayes.
Or something like that. Yeah, yes, I am triggered. I am totally triggered. Look, I have gloves. I own lots of gloves. I just choose not to wear them while I'm driving in the vehicle. Don't need them. The steering wheel's not that cold.
Let me be the first to say that I don't wear gloves and I just suck it up. What blows my mind, though, is my teenage boys won't wear gloves or a hat or even a jacket. A hoodie is good enough is a daily conversation. I have convinced them to wear pants over shorts this month.
Wow. We've all been there, though. That's part of being a teenager, right, boys? We all.
No, I dressed responsibly as a teenager.
No, but when you were a kid, you went, oh, you didn't zip it. You're like, oh, look at me.
Guys, I wear gloves to the car, but the heated steering wheel was a game changer. You're gonna hate me for this because I have a heated steering wheel as well. So I get in, I have my gloves on, I turn on the heated steering wheel, and when I can feel the heat coming through the gloves, I'll take off the gloves and then drive with the heat.
Soft society. We have gone so soft.
Greg in the Grove says, I always have a set of gloves, but not for the cold. It's just in case I end up in a duel and need to slap somebody.
I like that. The old leather, hey? Yeah.
Greg in the Grove, buddy, that could be a contender for text of the day today. That is, that's a good one. I like that one. All right, let's refocus.
Yeah.
If you want to chime in the nasty chat, feel free. Belineski says, right? And when you're driving for 45 minutes and you crash and you're unconscious, you freeze to death in your shorts and runners. Have you thought about that scenario?
Yeah, and if a comet falls out of the sky, we're all gone. Yeah. What do you like? What? Then how? What are your gloves going to do?
Yeah,
then?
but if it ends up in a what
Huh?
happens if there's a nuclear winter? You're going to need your gloves at all times. Luke Gazdic's coming up.
And you're going to ask every guest this morning, do you wear gloves? And they'll be like, yep, I wear gloves.
Well, of course you wear gloves. It's the winter.
But you're just going to ask them that general question. Do you wear gloves when it's cold? And they're going to be like, yep. And they're going to be like, see, Eric, what an idiot. It's not about not wearing gloves. I'm just saying for the commute in the morning, I don't need them under the steering wheel.
Well,
if I had no
you at
heater
least
in my
park-
vehicle.
You park in a garage,
Yeah.
so your vehicle's
It's-
not that cold.
No.
Trev, you don't park in a garage, and you still didn't wear gloves in.
Unfortunately, not.
But your hands are cold all the time.
My hands are cold always,
Circulation.
but pockets. I mean, pockets do the trick. What's wrong with
Put
pockets?
your hands down your pants.
Yeah,
You-
exactly.
You can't do anything in your pockets when your hands are out here.
I suppose.
Ooh.
This is a good day for one of our favorite segments of all time
Yeah.
to return. This is coming up around 8:45 this morning.
Careful, that take's hot. Hot take alert. That's a hot take. The hottest of takes. Wow, scalding hot take.
Scalding Hot Takes makes its comeback at 8:45 today, powered by Clayburn Services. You think they wear gloves when they're bricklaying? Up in the cold?
I'd wear gloves if I'm bricklaying, sure.
I don't know, actually. Can you wear gloves when you're bricklaying?
You got to have something on.
There must be a specific pair of
Like the
bricklaying
grocery,
gloves.
there's
There has to be, because you can't wear big, bulky gloves while you're laying the bricks and slathering on the brick paste.
be a hell of a challenge.
There's got to be a special. I would like to see all the equipment that a bricklayer uses. We're going to get somebody from Clayburn in here at some point.
Well, they use the string to keep it on the level, too. They have a string.
Is that what they do?
Yeah. It's okay.
So they lay out the string first and then almost like trace over.
I don't know
with
what
the
goes
bricks.
first. Yeah, but it kind of keeps, it's your level type of thing. And then they.
That's pretty cool.
Honestly, there's some pretty impressive bricklaying videos I've seen on TikTok.
Yeah.
Like people just going and they're just chugging along.
Yeah,
And like
system and it's-
they have like, it looks like a pizza flipper, one of those kind of things. And they have a bucket of cement and then they just, I'll take you in one because they're satisfying to watch and they're fun.
I wonder if they're looking for work because Clayburn is hiring.
Yeah.
ClayburnServices.com. They are they're helping us bring back Scalding Hot Takes. It'll happen today at 8:45.
Joaquin Gage presiding.
Gager is going to be our judge. I was actually looking on Amazon at full-blown retro judge costumes. We're talking the black robe, the gavel, and the white hair. That's where we want Gager sitting right between us when he can make it in. And he's going to be sitting here dressed like an old-timey judge,
Well, you got to look the part.
which I think would be
I
perfect.
think he takes this he's going to be taking this seriously. Like
Yeah, I mean,
he
Gager
already runs
does-
a highly successful Formula One fantasy league, right?
Gager doesn't do anything half-assed. Belineski says it's called mortar.
Mortar, yeah, brick and mortar.
No, it's brick paste to me.
Some videos though, Travis, it kind of looks delicious. Like it kind of, as you say, the pizza.
It
thing,
does.
it's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
It looks fun to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does. That's true. All right, so you see these Dave Naylor tweets?
Well, yeah.
And Naylor's going to join us around 8:20.
Let's.
There's a lot going on.
I know,
Look,
yeah, so you
I
gotta-
will give the CFL a ton of credit because there have been a lot of things to discuss this offseason.
These Nashville meetings are.
Well, yeah, I mean, they got the meetings down in Nashville. I know people are like, why are they having the meetings in the United States when it's a Canadian league? Well, they're down there. It's Coaches Association or something going on. It's a chance to kind of just give the league exposure with a bunch of American players and coaches around. So I'm not going to – to me, that doesn't matter. Dave Naylor is reporting that they are looking at 2 possible changes to the kickoff rules in the Canadian Football League. Now, first of all, as one of the play-by-play voices of the CFL, I love calling kick returns. Love it. Because there's always the threat of like something absolutely amazing
It's
happening.
one of the many things that make our game unique.
Yeah.
As opposed to the
Well, like
touchback.
the touchback in the NFL is such a buzzkill, man.
Game going on, and here we start, and the fireworks and touchback.
It's yeah.
Now a message from Dr. Pepper, and then
watch the Super Bowl again. All right, here we go. And then boom, touchback. Okay. Scrimmage from here. So it wouldn't be the 2 options right now that they're looking at. And I will start by saying I am in the category of leave kick returns in the CFL alone. I think the game.
It's not broke to you.
No, I
So
mean
why?
guys are going to get injured on any single play in football. I mean that's just how it works. The 2 options they're looking at is after a team gets scored on, instead of receiving the kickoff after, they can scrimmage from the 40, which most coaches will probably take.
It's tantalizing unless you have.
If you have Mario Alford, if you have
Janarian
Janarian Grant, who's the guy in Toronto? Leak. If you got these guys, it could change the game for you a bit. Might depend on the situation, might depend on the cover team that you're going against, that type of thing. There would still be a kickoff at the beginning of the game, at halftime, in the final 3 minutes, just so you could still do onside kicks. You'd still kick off there. So that's one of the options. And I don't know if we'll ask Naylor when he joins us today, like, are they going to choose one of these 2 options, or when it gets to rules committee, can they just go, no, we like it the way it is?
Just brought up, discussed, and then whatever.
Which, I mean, it happens all the time in the NHL. The NHL talks about a million things every time, and then nothing ever happens.
Naylor does point out, though, it's good that these things are actually just coming to light.
Well, it's all creating conversation.
Exactly, yeah.
Which is great for the Canadian Football League. These quarterbacks restructuring their contracts, creating conversation. Whether you love the fact that Chris Jones brought in McLeod Bethel-Thompson or not, it's creating conversation for the CFL throughout the entire offseason. I love that. The other option that Naylor said they are looking at is the XFL model, where the 2 teams would line up about 5 yards, or was it 5 or 10 yards?
5, I think.
5 yards away from each other. The kick comes in. Once it's caught, basically, everybody goes. I'm kind of intrigued by that one. I would rather see that type of kickoff than no kickoff.
But you're always getting a kickoff. Yeah.
And I'm also wondering, like, on a little bit of a bigger field, I mean, can more damage be done in that aspect?
I think a lot of people always forget the dimensions of the CFL field and things you can do and how creative you can get and how it might look different from the NFL. I got excited about the dribble kick conversation in question that the Montreal Alouettes were kind of making famous. I love that. I say keep that in, and teams have to stop it. I mean, you have to get creative enough on defense to stop those plays as well. I don't mind that. But when it comes to the kick, yeah, I don't know. Starting at the 40 it's already after the field goal, right? 35. You get the option of.
Yeah.
And from your point of view, you'd be maybe calling less.
Which one would you prefer though?
Like, it's not forced on you; it's just an option.
Yeah.
So I don't mind the option. Like, some teams, again, as you say, if you have a good returner, if you want to model your team and your game around special teams, or as you said too, conversely, kick coverage. If you have a really good cover team, maybe teams will plan. It gives you the option, and it opens up just another style of play, I guess, instead of just being forced to kick off every time. I don't know. To me, I'm fine either way. But to the greater point, it's got people talking about something CFL-wise this January 11th, 2024.
What say you? 780-218-9999. 780-218-9999. I think my options would be leave it as is.
And this is all for safety behind. That's the meaning of it.
It's always player
It's not
safety.
for entertainment or scoring or whatever.
No, definitely not. I'd like to see the XFL rule maybe in preseason. Just maybe they could say, for preseason this year we'll do XFL rule, and then we'll see how it goes, and we'll reevaluate and maybe come to it the following season.
I'll sign off on that.
I just don't want less opportunities for kick returns in the CFL. Pat Maroons Bibson says, smash them thumbs up, gang. We're below average. Hot takes on a game day. Boys are working hard for us. Show them some love. I like that. I like that a lot, actually. Let's hammer that today.
I froze my hands off for 43 likes.
Somebody said Dusty's starting to sound like how his dad probably is.
Well, that's fair.
I am a
even
dad.
agree. You're a dad. You're a parent. And so you should be saying these things and feeling this way. I'd be more worried if you were like, yeah, whatever. Yeah. Don't do up your jacket.
Here's a story from Louis. I once boosted a vehicle in a Millwoods liquor store parking lot for a couple of guys. When he said boosted a vehicle, I thought he meant steal it. Because in Gone in 60 Seconds, they talk about boosting cars. Anyway, these two dudes decided just a quick run to the liquor store, don't need jackets or a toque or gloves. Literally out in T-shirts, minus 35, now your car broke down and you're effed. It's Canada. Winter clothes are not optional.
Yeah, no, that's a dumb story. Two dumb individuals. I wouldn't be doing that.
Oil Boots is in. It says, hands in pocket are great until you slip on the ice and can't catch yourself.
Well, what are we? Now we're walking and running here, right? Like I thought we were just standing out at the mustard point. We keep moving the goalposts here, and I'm here for it, but holy.
Brezzy's in and says, hey, fellas, you got a conch for buses being canceled? Now, is that a good thing or a bad thing?
Just maybe a salute.
Here's how I think I view it, and I think I know this is my buddy Brezzy. I know he's a teacher. You think teachers today are like, buses are canceled, class is going to be half the size, it's movie day?
Yeah, it's a domino effect here.
Teachers today, I would think they're probably loving it because they're going to have like the only kids that'll be there are ones who get the drive in. Right, kids? Yeah. So that's probably it. Brez is probably like, no buses.
You remember these mornings too, though.
Let's go.
You did shave off a quarter or a half of your class. I'd walk to school every day. Gloves, I was dressed up to the nines, but you'd get there and you'd be... It's like Martin Prince showing up to school.
When you walked to school as a child...
Oh, I had it all. I had balaclava, gloves. Sometimes you wear
But now as an adult, nothing.
I don't walk here. I drive in a heated vehicle. I know what you guys are doing. You're not...
I'm trying to rattle you for scolding our takes today.
I get it.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
I took a bus to school every single day from the farm up until like grade 9 when we moved into town.
Long commute? What's
45-minute bus ride.
Jeez.
I'd play a lot of Game Boy. It was awesome. I don't remember many days when the buses got canceled. I mean, maybe we just were harder down in the East Kootenays than we are up here in Edmonton. I don't know.
Yes, the East Kootenays is tough life down there as opposed to the northern.
I know,
Alberta
but I don't remember
boreal
many.
forest.
I don't remember many days when the buses. I feel like we always just sort of grinded it out. Dwayne from Tway is in and says, "Leave the kickoff alone." Yeah, I would agree with that one as well. RBM says, "Yes, I always put on gloves when it's cold like this, but I wind up taking them off after 2 minutes anyway."
What do you're paying for a coffee, you're fumbling around change, you got your big mitts.
Well, once I'm in the car, I take them off. I use them. I use them for the walk from the house to the car and from the car to the office. I don't know.
That's what I do.
To me, that's normal.
I don't wear them in the vehicle either. So we're kind of. You're talking about the 20 steps from your house to the vehicle.
Guys, what if a reverse rapture happens and it takes everyone that isn't wearing gloves to eternal hell? What do you think about that, Rick?
Then damn me to hell.
780-218-9999.
There's a tombstone clip for that, right? Hell's coming with me.
Yeah. You tell him I'm coming. You tell him I'm coming. And this guy didn't even wear gloves. You tell him I'm coming, and hell's coming with me. You hear? Hell's coming with me. Nutsy Nielsen says, the word is Corey Perry's going to start talking to a lot of teams. If it comes out that he doesn't wear gloves when it's cold, does Holland give him a chance, or is he past redemption?
6:56, Corey Perry. I thought we'd get past the hour, but
no, we didn't We didn't. Doofus P says, why would buses be canceled? It's not even minus 30. Well, it was minus 29 on the way in today. Is it warming up today? I haven't even looked. I mean, let's see here.
It's gonna be really cold over the next couple of days.
Oh yeah, I mean,
heading into the weekend. That's just
it's
how
really
it is.
cold right now.
That's just how. I mean, a degree here, a degree there.
We're getting up to minus 27 today.
Oh, there you go.
Friday minus 31, Saturday minus 30, Sunday minus 28.
I saw an overnight low of minus 40 in there without wind chill or anything.
Two of
It
them.
was just
Yeah, I was looking. I think it was our man Klaus.
yeah.
Yesterday on Twitter, talking about how we're talking about as cold as it's been since like 2004, and some guys here don't even wear gloves in.
But I do when I'm outside, working or playing.
But not this morning when you
Building a fort.
When you
No, when I'm in a
shoveled
heated,
your
when I'm in
driveway.
a
I mean,
heated
that's just-
vehicle.
that's nuts to me.
No,
Buses get canceled anytime the temp goes below minus 40, including wind chill. We laid it out earlier today. Buses are canceled in a lot of different places. If you missed it, you can whip back on the YouTube channel.
I like how if it gets above that 1 degree, they're like, oh, buses are back on. Like it's still like there's a range here. Like
It's like when you're
now it's
watching
only minus 28.
CFL
Light 'em up.
smoke reports where it's like, can't play now. It's
Yeah.
8.1.
Like it's
Oh, wait a second. 7.9.
Nah.
Kick off.
Yeah.
It's
Drastically
kinda
different.
Crazy. Started and moved the cars in front of the house for the wife and daughter. Grinch onesie, no socks, no gloves. 3 minutes. Man up, Dusty. Chad in a Grinch onesie. Yeah, no socks, but no boots too?
well.
Come on, man. I just don't understand. Like, just bundle up. It's freezing cold. Kane and Yamark had courtside seats to the Pistons and Spurs last night. A, will they be hungover today? B, how much do you think Pistons courtside's
Well,
seats were since they suck?
I know Wembanyama, but the Spurs aren't exactly lighting
had
the
the
world on
triple
fire
double
there.
last night, didn't he?
These are two teams that right now 6 and yeah, they've combined 9 wins on the season between the two of them. So it's
If you want to sit courtside at a Pistons game,
how much?
they'll pay you $45.
It's kind of what it seems like, right?
If you want to sit courtside at a Pistons game, you get to be part of a 9-man rotation. You're in. You're playing.
Why not? Yeah.
Yeah.
At least a quarter.
780-218-9999. Scalding Hot Takes returns today at 8:45. Luke Gazdic is coming up next. We'll start to set up the Oilers and the Detroit Red Wings. Ian Rapoport, NFL Insider, around 7:45 today. And I got beef at 7:30 this morning. What do you have beef with? Let us know. 780-218-9999. Cool Bet hotline of the day as well. And if you're looking for something to do indoors over the next 3 to 4 days, we got some details on something that might intrigue you a little bit there as well. Let's get to a sports rewind for Universal Rewind with Lieutenant Eric Lou Gazdic on the other side here. Nielsen Show uninterrupted rolls on.
Multiple reports suggest Bill Belichick and the Patriots are expected to part ways today. He'll be leaving Foxborough after 24 seasons and 6 Super Bowls. Yesterday was Pete Carroll dismissed after 14 years at the helm in Seattle. It's expected he'll remain on with the team in an advisory role. You can join the entire Edmonton Sports Talk crew for Super Bowl 58. We'll be at the Centric Casino Sports Bar Lounge at Centric Casino Fort Road, February 11th. Food and drink specials and prizes on the line throughout the day. Just 3 games around the NHL last night. Avs blanked the Golden Knights 3-0. Stars over the Wild 7-2. And the Flyers of the Habs 3-2 in a shootout. Oilers continue their 3-game Eastern swing tonight in Detroit, as the club will chase its 9th straight win. You can join Tom Gazzola for the Oil Stream pre- and post-game shows. Coverage beginning at 3:30 this afternoon right here on Edmonton Sports Talk. It's one of 13 games around the NHL tonight. Just 1 game in the AJ last night saw the Saints top the Crusaders 4-2 out in Spruce Grove. 1 game this evening as Camrose will welcome in Drumheller. PWHL action last night. Montreal over New York 6-2. Both teams now 1-1. Minnesota improving to 2-0. With a 3-1 win over Toronto. Action will resume Saturday afternoon with a pair of games. Kawhi Leonard inking a 3-year extension yesterday with the Clippers. He cooked up 29 points in a 126-120 LA win over the visiting Raptors. Toronto's 6-game West Coast swing will wrap up tomorrow night with a stop in Utah. 5 games around the NBA tonight. And back over to hockey, the Oil Kings look to snap a 2-game slide. They're at home to the Tri-City Americans this evening. Puck drop is 7 o'clock from Rogers Place. This Sports Rewind brought to you by Universal Rewind, industrial electric motor sales and service, servicing many industries we rely on daily, from agriculture and aggregates to food processing and industrial manufacturing. Choose expertise, experience, quality. Choose Universal Rewind.
The Nielsen Show featuring Lieutenant Eric. Only on Edmonton Sports Talk.
.702 on the Nielsen Show. Thank you very much for being here. It is a game day. Oilers and Detroit Red Wings pre- and post-game coming up here later on today with Tommy Gazzola. Minus 29 in Edmonton right now, and I am looking at an extreme cold warning from Environment Canada.
There you go.
Extreme cold today. Make sure you bundle up. If you don't have to go outside, like if you can work from home today, you're definitely working from home today and tomorrow.
Well, even the roads with that cold makes it, with that snow, it's really, the slickness out there and everything, the shine, the gleam off there.
It's pretty slippery. That's why I like driving in at 5 a.m.
Just all over.
There's no roads.
I'm making all use of those 3 lanes down.
You're the king of the road. You're the king of the road
Who cares,
at 5 a.m., man.
Yeah.
It's the absolute best. You can text us anytime, Paris Jewelers inbox, 780-218-9999. Hit us up in the nasty chat this morning as well. Jason in the nasty chat says, I grabbed some 6 o'clocker lager from Terwilliger Sobeys Liquor. It tastes like winning.
Good man.
Yes, it does. It's absolutely delicious. That is our beer. You will enjoy it. It was restocked across the city yesterday, and it'll be restocked in other areas of the province next week with our great partners over at Alley Cat. We do know that it will also be available at our Super Bowl party.
Yes.
With Century Casino.
By the can.
On Fort Road.
I mean, nice today. A little happy hour. Hey, 5 o'clock puck drop. You can join the boys, 3:30. Couple 6 o'clocker loggers this afternoon. If you're working at home, right? Take.
Real nice.
Nobody knows when you're off work at home. You can just be like, oh.
Yeah. I mean, working from home
Right?
is a scam. Yeah. Right? Like working from home has to be a scam. I could never work from home. I wouldn't do
trust
anything.
yourself.
I couldn't do it. I'd just lay around and watch movies all day. That's just how it would be. All right, 780-218-9999. The Edmonton Oilers get the Detroit Red Wings tonight. The Oilers have won 8 in a row. They are absolutely rolling right now. If you're listening on TuneIn or at EdmontonSportsTalk.com, make sure you tell your friends about Edmonton Sports Talk, and they too can enjoy the fun that we're bringing to you every single morning. Our first guest of the day, we got Ian Rapoport coming up. We got Dave Naylor coming up. We got the return of Scalding Hot Takes. Gager will be by to judge those today. But our first guest of the day is, of course, Luke Gazdic from Sportsnet and the Mitts-Off podcast as well. It is brought to you by Pro-Am Sports, your locally owned sports and memorabilia apparel specialists, located in Edmonton at Sabre Trail on 128th Ave, 1 block north of the Yellowhead, or online at proamsports.ca. So while you're working from home today, why don't you hop online at proamsports.ca and treat yourself to a little warm-up present? Because like you, the crew over at Pro-Am are sports nerds too. Luke Gazdic, good morning, sir. How are you doing? You look like you're staying warm in that hoodie
Nice
as
and
well.
toasty,
Hey, buddy,
yeah.
nice.
It's not minus 29 over here, boys. Holy.
Okay, well, let's talk about this then. Let's talk about the weather thing for a second. So it's minus 29. That's not including the wind chill. It's like minus 37 with the wind chill. It's cold here. It's going to be minus 40 the next couple of nights here in Edmonton. This guy and our producer, YouTube Trev, did not wear gloves into work today, Luke. Where do you come out on them not wearing gloves to work?
Buddy, I'm a huge glove guy. I am covered head to toe. I love it. Man, that cold, it reminded me when I first got there, Oh my goodness. I had this truck, right? So I played in Texas, and when I got picked up on waivers, I got this truck shipped up from Austin, Texas. I lived on Jasper Ave near that Earl's Tin Palace. This thing would die every morning. I'd come down and it wouldn't start. It was just not equipped for the Alberta weather. And Jesse Joensu lived right down the road. I'd call him every other day and be like, Jess, you got to come get me, buddy. Truck's not starting. Sorry. Come on. Every time.
Man, you didn't drive that up, eh? You had it shipped up.
Man, it happened so fast.
I guess,
When Craig McTavish called me, it was a Sunday in Austin, and he said, "You ever played in the NHL?" First of all, he asked me. I said, "No." I was like, "You should probably know that. You just picked me up off waivers."
I was going to say, Max, he didn't know if you.
I think he was more of just like, hyping me up. But he's like, "You're going to be playing Hockey Night in Canada Tuesday night. Your flight's at 4 p.m. Go get packed, and get here." Like, man, it was a mad scramble. I had to run to our storage unit, grab whatever I could, and I was up there before I even knew what was going on.
Do you start packing right away, or do you start making phone calls right away when you get that call? Are you calling family, or are you packing and getting moving?
First call was to my parents. My coach down there, Willie Desjardins, gave me the office, and I got to call my parents, which was really cool. Tell them I was going to play my first NHL game Tuesday night. But man, you only have a month, right? Like, technically, the team only has to keep you around for a month. So, and they told me that when I got there, I basically sat down with Dallas and Mac T, and they were like, "Listen, we kind of want to see what we have, but you have 30 days to show us what you got." And so I just made a mental note to go after every single guy I could in the league in 30 days.
It's funny you bring that up, because I was just going to ask you. I was like, so they give you like a 30-day window. It's not like you're rolling out 18 minutes a night to go prove yourself. So yeah, I guess you had to make the most of the limited opportunity, eh?
I know. They put me up at the Westin, and they were like, "Listen, this is going to be a battle," but thankfully I scored on my first shift, and we went from there.
Who was your first fight? Who was your first fight? We should probably remember this, but who was your first fight?
It was the first night too. It was like my fourth shift. I scored on my first, and then I fought Chris Thorburn in the second period.
Chris Thorburn.
Right at center ice. I was an apple shy of the Gordy in my NHL debut.
Man, you must have been flying high that night, eh? Stepping in, nobody. They didn't say, "Hey, let's pick up Gazdic. He can pot a few goals for us." Then you score in the first shift. Then you go out and fight somebody. I mean, that could not have gone any better for you, outside of maybe adding the assist along the way, I guess.
Yeah, I was feeling good, guys. Honestly, when I look back on it too, a lot of things had to go right to put me in that position. But honestly, it was like the hockey gods were smiling down on me. I had played 4 years in the minors before that, 276 American League hockey games without a call up to the NHL. So, I had put in a lot before that, and I felt like someone was just up there watching down and had my hand for that game. It was a really good feeling, man, just because it's like a tryout, right? And I knew I had to show what I had in a very short amount of time. And feeling good.
Luke, just to get back on track, do you wear gloves while you drive?
No, I'm not. I'm not one of those guys, but when I'm brushing the snow off the car, anything like that. When I used to walk from my apartment on Jasper to either Earl's, Joey's, or Cactus Club,
of course,
I would be wearing gloves.
Okay, but I see he said to wipe. So today after the show,
if I'm going out walking, I'll wear gloves.
Go out and wipe off your car and stuff. You got no gloves.
2 seconds. I got gloves in the vehicle if I need them. I
but
just
they're
don't
be
need to wear them
cold.
on.
They're gonna be freezing cold in the vehicle.
It's not that bad.
It's minus 37 with the wind chill.
You put a cold glove on your hot hand. The body heat will warm.
Oh, my God. Unbelievable, this guy. All right. Hey, babe, we'll get to the Oilers and Red Wings in just 1 second. But when you said, so you played almost 300 games in the American Hockey League, 4 seasons. Were there times where you're like, damn it, I'm not going to get the call? What's that discussion, or what's that thought process like with you?
To be honest, no. To be honest, I kept thinking it's going to happen eventually. And that camp that I went into, my 5th training camp, was the best I had ever felt, the best shape I was in. I was going at it with Lane McDermott for their 4th line left wing job. And I kept thinking it's going to happen. It's going to happen. But then when they sent me down, because I played Edmonton that last preseason game, and I scored on Devin Dubnyk on a 2-on-1 in Oklahoma City. And I thought, this is it. I was like, this is unreal. I made it. I'm going to be in the NHL. Like, this is sick. Like, and then on the plane, they came back and he gave me the tap. He said, "Hey, you got to meet with Jimmy at 9:30 tomorrow morning." And I was just like, "Are you kidding me?" Like, and that was, to be honest, guys, and like, I haven't told too many people this, but when they bring you into the meeting rooms, I feel like a lot of players just kind of sit there and listen and take it in. Like, I snapped. Like, they were like, "Hey, you're going back down to Austin." And I was like, what more do you guys want me to do? I've been here for 4 years. I've done everything you guys have asked me. I've fought. I just scored last night in an NHL exhibition game with full rosters. Like, I thought I had a great camp, and they just said, like, "Hey, we still don't think you're ready yet." And I was like, touche. Like,
wow.
Basically, see you guys later,
Yeah. Huh. Well, it worked out well in the end. Now here you are with us, and you're on Sportsnet. You do the podcast and stuff. It's a lot of fun. Yeah. All right. Oilers and Red Wings. Let's I mean, the game against Chicago, 15 shots on goal, but they get the win. We were asking it yesterday on one of our other shows on the Oil Stream with myself and Gazzola. Like, is that a game where you're like, it's starting to become a little complacent, or is that kind of the one they got away with, and you're expecting a really good bounce back here against Detroit?
No, expecting a bounce back, but to be honest, Chicago did the same thing to Calgary on Sunday. Like, they just hang around. I'll give them credit. Like, they work, they compete. They just don't do it very smartly. But if you let teams like that hang around for too long, they think they have a chance, and they're kind of playing. They're just playing loose and playing free. But those are such trap games. I just feel like guys have a little more time and space, so you almost start thinking too much. You have more time than you're used to. The skill level that you're playing against isn't as good, but man, that was sloppy. Like, from start to finish, it just looked bad on both sides. I think they ended up winning that game 4-1, not 2-1, but either way, we'll take the 2 points. But yeah, those are just traps you can fall into. I expect a much different effort against the Wings, but that's a problem I feel like they run into every now and then. And really good teams don't do that. Is you just start playing down to the level of your opponent. And it's so easy to do. But with teams like that, you really have to like continue to like assert your dominance from the beginning, or else you just kind of let them know, like, we're letting you in this thing. But the Wings, man, I'm just going to come out and say it. I don't think they're very good. I think the East is a lot different than the West this year. I think every game in the West outside of San Jose and Anaheim is an absolute battle. And coming down the stretch here, it's going to be really tough in the dog days. Like, this should be a non-negotiable 2 points, make it 9 in a row.
And Luke, does that go more for Detroit? I mean, just looking at them right now, and you mentioned maybe the East and West are a little different, but in the thick of a wild card pursuit themselves, went on a West Coast trip, 3 in a row. They've been off since Sunday. What can you tell about Oilers fans specifically about Detroit? Anything to watch out for tonight?
Yeah, they're on a bit of a heater. 4 of the last 5. They just went and swept California, which is not easy to do. Yeah, I know it's Anaheim and San Jose, but any win in the NHL, making it 3 in a row is tough to do. Their power play is pretty good, but all in all, I don't think they're a great team. Their power play is over 20%. You don't want to be taking penalties tonight. They're fighting for their playoff lives in the East. I feel like that's going to come right down to the end. I just feel like from the amount of hockey I've watched this year, the teams that are in the murky middle in the East compared to the teams that are in the murky middle in the West are much different. The ones in the West play really, really desperate. It's more physical. This, like I said, should be a game that Edmonton can skate and be able to skate not around or through them, but they should be able to outskate them tonight. But I really don't think the Wings are that good. I'll just say it.
Do you think, though, with Detroit, that Steve Yzerman has them on the right track? Like, they've added some pretty good young pieces that maybe we shouldn't even expect to be at that level just yet. Like, do you think they're trending in the right direction?
I do, and like, I would never question or criticize what Steve Yzerman's doing, but I just, some of the moves I'm not sure at. I think he made a huge ploy before the season to get the fans back in it, and one of those things he did was sign a ton of players from the state of Michigan.
Yeah, okay.
Right? He brought in Justin Hall and Comfer. And obviously Larkin's there already, and DeBrincat's back. But I just feel like he just plugged a lot of holes. and they've drafted okay. And I think they're trending in the right direction, but I just really don't know. Their core isn't. I just don't see it challenging for a couple years. I think before the season, there were those 3 teams that people were talking about in the East. It was Detroit, Buffalo, and Ottawa.
Those 3 teams, right? Yeah.
Who were going to make the next step. And I really, truly thought it was Ottawa. And I'm now shaking my head thinking about that. But I do think Detroit's still like years away. I think they just plugged some holes, but I do think they're trending in the right direction.
What do you think? Because those three, and Detroit had a nice start to the season. Obviously, Ottawa did not. Buffalo's kind of been middling here for a little while. What is it about those 3 teams, do you think, that haven't allowed one of them to elevate consistently this year?
Honestly, it's an easy answer, but goaltending. Like none of those 3 teams
all
have
3,
gotten even close to good goaltending. Detroit's probably had the best. They've both been running, Buffalo and Detroit have both been running that 3 goalie tandem looking for somebody. I think they thought Devin Levi in Buffalo was going to be the guy. He's already been down to Rochester and back. Ottawa is a complete tire fire, and I love nothing more than watching this team go up in flames, honestly. Being from Ontario and being a Toronto guy, like their fans are absolutely, they just speak nonsense online, and I've been absolutely chastised by Sen's Twitter a couple times this year already, and so there is not one team in the league more than I love to see crash and burn more than the Ottawa Senators. But out of the 3, the Wings were probably getting the best goaltending. It's just, it sounds so simple, but it's just so crazy how much good goaltending can affect the whole outlook of your roster. It can make your coach look good. It can give your players confidence. And there's like 8 goalies in the league that are having like stellar years. I think I looked at the stats yesterday. The save percentage in the league is finally down to under 900. Like,
yeah.
Good goaltending like we're getting from Stuart Skinner right now is a gift.
Well, it's funny. I was just going to bring up Stuart Skinner because he's 13-2 in his last 15 starts with a .929 save percentage. The conversation that we've been having, because Pickard, he's played limited minutes, but he's got a .904 save percentage. Skinner right now is on pace to play 60. Is that do you want him to play 60? Do you need to find a little bit more time for Pickard here just to make sure Skinner's not exhausted heading into the postseason? Or do you look at it and go, he's a younger guy, he's playing extremely well. If he ends up playing 60 to 62 games, it's not the end of the world.
Yeah, the latter for me.
Yeah.
That's where I'm going. He's young. Make sure you give him your days off. I'm sure they'd be talking to him on a daily basis about how his body's doing. I wasn't sure about the start versus Chicago. And then now I'm thinking if they had Pick in there, they might not have won that game. So in hindsight, Nobbs had his crystal ball out and ended up being a really good choice. But he's just been dialed in, man. I go back to their first game out of the break in San Jose. Gene took like a phone video footage of Skins on the ice, first guy out on the ice before, and he was just going through his motions, just kind of side to side. You could kind of tell he was visualizing, and I was like, man, this guy's dialed in right now. His rebound control, he just looks more stable in there. And honestly, it's been great. I think for the last, 2 months or 2 months ago, all we could talk about is what goalie they were going to pick up. And I think he's really afforded them some time to kind of sit back and not force anything, not have to give away more than they probably should. So I think the players are really gaining a lot from him. But man, if you can get 60 out of him, I mean, he's young. I think he's able to do it. I would really be cognizant and aware of what he's going through and make sure you're talking to him and giving him his rest and all that.
Guys, before I let you go quickly, just on the goalie front, who was the craziest goalie that you ever played with? Like just an oddball.
Hands down, Ilya Bryzgalov.
Oh yeah, of course.
So same thing. So there was a group of us that lived on like the west end of Jasper. I don't even know if it's the west end, whatever it is. I lived over near Earl's. So Jesse was down the street and Briz was in the building right beside me. And this one day he was very quick, fresh from getting picked up and didn't know anybody. So we were we were leaving that day. We were like flying out the next day, but leaving the rink that day. And he's like, "Hey, you live close to me. Like, I'm not going to try to do a Russian accent, but you live close to me. I'll drive you to airport tomorrow." And I was just like, "Well, okay, come. Here's my address. Pick me up." And so early morning, I have my coffee, get in the car, and this is a true story. He had I thought all this universe stuff that he did in the interviews was like, him having a little act.
Yeah.
I looked in the back seat and it was a book on like the universe and planets. It was like a big thick like textbook, and I was like, okay, this is real. And it ended up just being like it was a good ride and good combo, but I was just like, this guy's out there, like he is just super nice. But we talked about everything but hockey. I don't think we had one question or conversation about the game.
Yeah.
It was all just about life. And he was just asking me about the weather and how weather cycles work. And I was just like,
fascinating.
I was like, next time I just think I'm going to go to the airport early. I'll drive myself.
Yeah. I'll take a cab. Thanks, man. Appreciate this. Luke, as always, buddy, really appreciate it. What's coming up on the next Mitts Off? What do you got coming up?
Man, we are taking, I don't want to say a little break, but I have something really cool in the works. So we're putting a little extra time. I'm doing more of a feature for the next episode. We're going a little different. I have a musician coming on, so we're doing a bit of a sit down. So this will be a really cool one, but I'm putting a little extra time and effort.
It's mitts off, not mitts on, right?
Oh, enough with the gloves thing. Enough with the gloves thing. My guy, you gotta sneak it
Gene
in.
Principe, it's rubbing off on him.
All right, man. We'll catch up with you next week.
Thanks, guys.
There you go. That's Luke Gazdic. Great story on Bruce Galoff.
I love the unsolicited sends hate. Like, we really kind of needed to
I
draw
was
that
not
out of him.
aware that Luke Gazdic has an ongoing rivalry with the Senators.
He could have
fan
kept
base.
going. Like,
That's hilarious.
Where is this? The speak nonsense online. That's a keeper of a phrase from Jonathan. The speaking of nonsense online.
Speaking of nonsense online. Jack from Pro-Am texted me when we were chatting with Luke. He goes, he wasn't lying about the fighting every single game in that third. Game number 4, October 10th, 2013. His third fight of the season in his 4th game after getting called up. And they've got it at Pro-Am. He's fighting Brandon Prust, and you can get Gazdic autographed photo just pumping Prust, which is kind of funny to see. And Luke's been great. I think I saw RCN in there earlier and be like, I was a little worried, like when you were adding guys. I wasn't sure about Luke, but he's been awesome.
Well, killing it on TV and just, yeah.
You think we're going to add people who suck? Come on. Let's go. He was great. All right, you can text us anytime, 780-218-9999, 780-218-9999. And look, it's going to be chilly for the next few days. And if you're looking for something to do indoors, like you don't want to just stay at your house for the next 4 days.
Cabin fever. Eh?
Like you want to get out a little bit. So how about checking out RV Wars? More info on this at rvwars.ca. But Arcan RV, great idea for something you can check out indoors right now. Indoors. 150 RVs. Once again, all of it indoors. 17303 100th Ave. RV Wars starts today. It goes until Sunday. They've got 150 RVs. All of them are being cleared out. I'm sure HR Daddy and Nasty Nana, as she calls herself, are on their way up here right now. My parents are huge RVs.
Will he send you for a scouting mission or something like
that?
Yeah.
He probably will. They're in the market for, it's like every 18 months, my parents just get an RV that's like 3 feet longer. They're like, ooh, we're going to get one with the 2 chairs.
Flipping RVs,
I was like, my God. I love it. This is unbelievable. My parents, I don't even know technically they really like camping.
Are they in the class of towing the vehicle behind said RV yet? Or are they at that?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Love
it.
That's full-blown nut job. Anyway, they would love this. But if you want to swing by RV Wars, it's 17303 100th Ave, so 173rd Street and 100th Ave. And with Minor Hockey Week underway, as a bonus, if you come into RV Wars with a kid in a hockey jersey and your Minor Hockey Week badge, they'll give you a free Kalani cup just for popping by.
There you go. Free.
Free stuff.
Had me at free. There you go.
And there's free stuff.
And the indoors and stretching the legs, as you say, you don't want to be cooped up.
Yeah.
So you get into a place like that, you roam around and you.
What I would do is, and I hope my wife's not, because she's like, no, we have a truck. We should get something. I'm like, you're nuts. I'm not getting, I didn't get a truck to start becoming camping guy. But what I would like to do is go down to RV Wars and pretend I've got like 200 grand and just go and check out everything. Like, but be real serious about it. Asking deep questions about it, knowing damn well that I'm not leaving there with a motorhome.
It's the sports and leisure show vibe. You have to go in there with confidence and just, pretend you're playing the part and go around and poke things, touch things. How does this go? Up and down? You kind of...
Some of these trailers, like the one I have, I think I was telling, I can't remember who I was telling the other day. I was talking about the one with my parents. Maybe it was you. Maybe it was somebody else. Anyway, the one that my parents have now is nicer than any apartment I had through all of my 20s. Like, it probably wasn't until I got my first house here in Edmonton that I had a place to live that's nicer than the motorhome that my parents have now.
Could you imagine trick-or-treating in one of those as a young Dustin Nielson, right? As opposed to...
You know what I should have done in my early 20s is I should have just bought, like, a really cheap, old, used motorhome and lived in that.
There's got to be somebody out there. Nasty chat, Paris Jewelers, inbox 702189999. Have you lived the dream? Has anybody done that?
Yeah, has anybody ever lived?
Oh, I'm gonna travel Europe. I'm gonna go to post-second. I'm gonna buy
my
an
parents
RV.
did 6 weeks across the country and back.
Yeah,
last fall. They said they loved it, but like
I'll probably never do that in my life. But I've always it's intriguing.
Anyway, if you want to chime in. But RV Wars, you can find more at rvwars.ca. Starts today, runs through Sunday at 17303 100th.
And the free offer again?
Take your kid wearing their jersey and their minor hockey week badge, and you get a free Kalani Cup. And it's insulated, too. All right, let's get to your cool bet hotline of the day. I got beef coming up. Ian Rapoport coming up. Bill Belichick. The end of an era.
Coming up in Atlanta?
For now. I mean, yeah, that's one of the things we'll discuss with Rap Sheet when he joins us. What's next? The coaching carousel is...
Pete Carroll's moving up.
Staying in, moving up.
Some advisory boardroom role, eh?
Is that when you, like, when you...
you've made it.
Well, that's what I'm wondering. Yeah. Like, when you go from your job you've done for a long time to an advisory role, like, that's basically just paid retirement. So at that point, are you happy because you're like, I've made it, I don't even have to do work anymore, they're going to pay me? Or are you sad because you're like, I don't get to do that job anymore, and I know they're basically putting me in a home?
Yeah. He won't be snapping that gum as hard as he was on the sidelines, eh? I don't think up in the...
Probably not. All right, let's get into your cool bet hotline of the day. If you have any ideas on what you'd like to see in a little EST parlay for tonight, you can certainly fire those into the nasty chatter. You can text us anytime, 780-218-9999. Also funny with the mitts off thing at the end there. That's high level thinking. That was good, Rick. That was good. The Oilers are minus 190 favorites. I think the total in this game is set at 7. That's pretty high. We don't see a lot of 7s. You'll see the Oilers
he mentioned goaltending too.
Some 7s.
And it's between Alex Leon and James Reimer. For your Detroit Red Wings.
Let me just find Oilers team total
Unless they have
tonight.
some third coming in there, but
Oilers over 3.5 goals tonight, minus 135. I love that. What are they to win in regulation tonight? Oh, maybe this could be an overtime game, but let's see. In regulation, they're minus 119. No, let's do this. Let's lock it in. I know it's only minus 135, but it's the play of the day. We want to hit the play of the day. Edmonton Oilers over 3.5 goals for their team total, minus 135 tonight against the Detroit Red Wings. I love that.
Clean up in bed by 8.
I like that one a lot. You're right. Get the dub.
Get the money, get the bag.
If you want to stay up late to watch the Lakers and Suns, go ahead. Stay up late. We'll watch the Lakers and Suns
parlay your
yeah. Over 3.5 goals tonight for the Oilers, minus 135. That will be your cool bet hotline of the day. If you want to ride with us, go to coolbet.com. If you want to sign up for an account, use the code LOCKSHOP, all one word, when you do, and you will get a 100% deposit bonus when you sign up. So if you deposit $50, they'll give you a bonus $50 as well. If only Dusty could give his goalie stats. Man, this DEL has been on me about what do you mean about goalie stats? I'm not a goalie.
What's going on?
I don't know. He keeps asking me for my goalie stats. I was a goalie from like the age of 8 to like 14.
Is that even documented? Do you have
No,
any? Is there any
I
place
mean,
where that's
I'm
on
not
paper?
even on
or,
elite prospects. So how are you going to get my goalie stats? I don't
Rashawn's still on there,
understand it.
isn't he? Or-
Yeah, Shaggy would be on elite prospects. Yeah, that's true. All right, let's get to a sports update for Park Mazda. I got beef when we return. Ian Rapoport around 7:45 on where some of these coaches will land around the National Football League. That is on the way. Dave Naylor on some possible rule changes in the Canadian Football League. Quarterbacks across the league, many of them restructuring their contract. We'll kind of dive into that a little bit as well. Scalding Hot Takes returns in hour number 3 of the Nielsen Show today.
Bill Belichick and the New England Patriots expected to part ways later today. He'll be leaving Foxborough after 24 seasons at the helm and 6 Super Bowl titles. Yesterday, Pete Carroll also dismissed after 14 years leading the Seahawks. It's expected he'll remain with the team in an advisory role. You can join the entire Edmonton Sports Talk crew for Super Bowl 58 live at the Centric Casino Sports Bar and Lounge, Centric Casino, Fort Road, February 11th. Menu items under $10, drink specials, and prizes throughout the day. 3 games last night in the NHL. Flyers over the Habs 3-2 in a shootout. Jesper Wallstead taking the loss. He stopped 27 of 34 shots in his NHL debut. Stars tamed the Wild 7-2, and the Avalanche shutting out Vegas 3-zip. Vegas now 3-7 in their last 10. Oilers' 3-game East swing continues tonight in Detroit. The club will chase its 9th straight win. Tom Gazzola, he'll be by for the Oil Stream pre- and post-game shows. Coverage begins at 3:30 this afternoon right here at Edmonton Sports Talk. Oilers and Wings, one of 13 games around the NHL tonight. Just one game in the AJ last night saw the Saints top the Crusaders 4-2. One game tonight as Camrose entertained Drumheller. PWHL action saw Montreal top New York 6-2. Minnesota shutting out Toronto 3-1. Action will resume Saturday with a pair of matinee games. Fresh off thinking a new 3-year extension, Kawhi Leonard had 29 points, leading the Clippers over the Raps 126-120. Toronto will wrap their West Coast swing tomorrow night in Utah. 5 games around the association tonight, including the Lakers at home to the Suns, while the Knicks chase their 6th straight win. They'll visit the Dallas Mavericks. And back over to hockey, Oil Kings and Americans tonight from Rogers Place as Edmonton looks to snap a 2-game slide. Puck drop, 7 o'clock. Sports update brought to you by the great staff at Park Mazda, or which Mitch Lewicki, dealer principal, never wears any gloves. Ever. 12 months a year.
If you're like me, you like to picture yourself in luxury, even though there's absolutely no way you could afford it. And if you can, well, even better. Thankfully, I picture myself in something that is luxury, but still absolutely affordable, like the all-new Mazda CX-90 from Park Mazda. With the new luxury features like facial recognition settings and quilted detail Napa leather seating, I can pretend to be comfortable with all of my proper settings activated without even touching a button, thanks to Mitch Lewicki and the great staff at Park Mazda. I like to picture Mitch Lewicki as a ninja fighting off evil samurai.
Park Mazda, your dealer for life in Sherwood Park off Y Road, parkmazda.ca.
I've got something under my skin, and the itch won't go away. It's my original sin, the poison that I crave. Come along for the ride, I'd make you feel better. Cut the rope that I tied, but then I broke my skin again. You got me fiending for that first high, but the feeling's not the same. You got me stealing, killing, I die, just to feel you in my veins.
Yeah, it's nice when it really hits good. It times out well. EST House
Flawless.
Band, Whale and the Wolf, bringing you back to the Nielsen Show as we continue to roll on. Ian Rapoport coming up around 7:45 this morning. There's a few things to discuss in the National Football League. I think that's safe to say. There's a few things to discuss in the CFL as well, and Dave Naylor will join us to do that coming up here around 8:20. Orange and Blue breakfast for Mobile One and Blue Water Lubricants. That'll happen around 8:35 today. And the return of Scalding Hot Takes Excited for this. YouTube Trav, your first one.
Yeah, that's the story
What's your
here.
mindset at right now?
Yeah, I'm a little nervous, not gonna lie, but I'm excited. It'll be fun. I got some good ones, and
You listened
yeah.
to some example takes last
Yeah,
night, right?
yeah, I had to refer back to a few of the oldies, but it was cool because I remember the first time back in the 1260 days when you had me come in. The first time I was I watched the hot takes and I was like, oh, this is pretty sweet. I had a lot of laughs there, and now look at me now. I gotta.
It's hot there.
Look at me now.
Yeah,
No,
so that's
I'm
pretty
in.
cool. That's pretty sweet.
Now that's exciting. That's definitely exciting. All right, let's get to I Got Beef for Acme Meats. Eat fresh, eat local, eat Acme, and why not go down for the butcher experience? If you would like to have an experience, you and your friends, you go down, Corey the Butcher gives you a little bit of a demonstration. You get to have some goodies while you're there. Very cool experience. All you have to do right now to get in the draw for this, we'll be doing this draw at the beginning of February. All you have to do to get into the draw for this special event at Acme, just text in, I want beef right now. 780-218-9999. If you are in the nasty chat, text us. Don't hit it in the nasty chat. Text us at 780-218-9999. I got beef. We'll draw one of your names. You'll go into the grand prize draw, and we'll give that away coming up in early February.
Corey's in with a beef this morning.
Corey is?
Corey the Butcher.
All right. Well, let's go.
Yeah, morning, gents. My dog wanted me to give you his beef, having to go outside in this weather to go to the bathroom. Ride of the dog via Corey the Butcher. He's got a nice hound, Corey does. I really like his dog, but all you dog owners out there, I do have a sly cackle at the fact that you got to get them out there. You can't. I don't think you can take the dog to the Arcan RV event. I'm sure that's probably not, maybe unless it's like an
dogs
aid
are
dog.
around RVs.
Yeah, I know, but inside and everything like that, I just knowing people who have like multiple dogs, like big dogs, and having to go out, and then they go outside, they go to the bathroom in the yard, and then the spring comes, and you got to it's you can have them.
Corey, thanks for the beef. Thanks for the beef. This one's in from Normology. I got beef with you guys not leaving your coworkers with the audio vault while they were filling in for you jabronis last week. Now, that was a bit of a tough spot because usually you have...
I was going to be here. I was planning to be here. I had everything ready to go and ready to fly. And then
now, with that being said, at yesterday's EST meeting,
we learned our lesson.
We got scolded by
Wannick spanked
by
us.
the COO.
He took you over his knee, and then he took me over his
Matthew
knee.
Wannick spanked
one arm
us with his one
arm
arm
spanking.
And I said that we do have to have a plan. So if we're both not here for some reason, which rarely happens, but if we're both not here, we have to have the audio.
Like keeping
there for
gloves in
everybody
your
else,
vehicle in case of emergency.
Somebody else said they got beef with me. They want me to take a couple days off and just sit down and go through all of those files we have so we can start playing some of the other clips again.
You need to get back to the random
I'll
file,
show you this.
hey?
Yeah, well,
say
but
number.
I also have this little ditty right here. This is a USB stick. And I was in on this USB stick last night. And
this is a
USB. See, there it is. Kingston, there's a problem with this drive. Scan the drive now to fix it. Doesn't every one of those always say that?
Well, you never get it in the right way either. You got to turn it around
it's always a mess. But
first
anyway, I was browsing around this. This is one that I had always kind of had loaded for the day that we got blown out. I was always like, it's going to happen at some point. So I should probably have a lot of these clips saved. And I do have a vault folder in here. And there's quite a bit of stuff. There's quite a bit of stuff in here that we haven't kind of brought back up yet. For example, let's see, what's this little ditty coming off the USB stick?
And Marcus had an off game. Marcus was absolutely awful. That's about as PG rated as I can say it. He was awful. Our guards were awful. Our 3 starting guards had 1 assist and 7 turnovers. They must think it's a tax credit. It's unbelievable how our starting guards played. And let's talk about our big guys. 2 for 11. How can you go 2 for 11? My wife can score more than 2 buckets on 11 shots because I know my wife will at least shot fake 1 time.
How about that? Also, very underrated part of the Barry Hinson rant was he goes, they must think it's a tax credit.
Tax, yeah.
He's always wanted to be an accountant, so he's just sort of sneaking that in there. Anyway, I got a lot of good stuff for you people. It's just a matter of diving into it a little bit. I got all the top 10 sounds from the year 2013 to 2019. There's some good ones in here. Let me see. What's this bad boy?
You have a tight body. Yes. I see that from your tight pants. Yes, you are tight like a tiger. Would you like a smoke and a pancake? A what? A smoke and a pancake.
High fly ball deep to right. Get up, ball. Get up. This ball is out of here. He's hit another home run. Number 31 for Smoke.
Smoke, smoke, smoke that cigarette. Puff, puff, puff it if you smoke yourself to death. Tell St. Peter at the Golden Gate, you hate us to make you wait. You've got to have another cigarette.
Oh, hello. You know smoking is bad for your health, and it isn't grown up at all. So please, don't smoke.
The Justin Smoke home run song.
That was a time to be alive, hey?
It was the number 5 sound of the year in 2017. So I got a lot of it. I don't have time to sit down and kind of get it all organized.
You got a Pilar Catch haiku kicking around in there somewhere?
I probably do have a Pilar Catch haiku in there somewhere. Anyway, Scalding Hot Takes returns in about an hour. Rapoport will join us in about 5 minutes. What do you have beef with, Frag Me Meats?
I have a beef, and it's specific to the time we are living in right now with the temperatures, and I do believe, as Arcian correctly pointed out in the nasty chat, we are just 3 weeks, like winter has just begun. Like if Ilya Brizgalov was here, he'd say, hey, you know what, judging by the calendar, this is just, we're in the advent of winter. So this is, buckle up, and that's perfectly normal. But I do have a beef with, okay, so it's say for an example, it's minus 20 degrees Celsius, okay? No, yeah, I don't think, it's minus 20 degrees Celsius. And then there's a wind, which is called the wind chill. So they'll say it's minus 20, but it feels like...
Yeah. That is ridiculous.
If it feels like, therefore it is...
That's the temperature.
Whatever... I mean, you could be standing behind a wall. Maybe if you're in an enclosed area and there's no wind, and then maybe, I get it's still cold, but if you're saying it's something, but then it feels like something else, well, then it's what it feels like. Just go by what it feels like.
Don't weathermen hate the feels like?
What I
think
hope they do.
The feels like.
Just tell me what it feels like outside.
Because that's the weather.
That's the weather. But don't say, well, it's gonna be minus 20, but with the wind, and then you're like, oh God, here we go, and then you tack on an extra 20 or 30 to it. Just give me the goods. Cut out the fat. Give me the wind chill.
So I got a little bit of beef. It's kind of weather related as well. I've got the truck now.
Yep.
And last night was the first night that I was like, I should probably plug the truck in. It's
garage. You can't. It's
I have a garage, but my wife's vehicle's in there. We got some stuff sorted. You know how a garage is.
Yeah.
So, and I don't mind parking outside. So I was like, oh well, I'll just go plug in the truck. So I open up the hood. I can't find how to plug this thing in. So then I have to go over to YouTube. I know this is bad. If I go on YouTube, I'm like, where is the block heater plug-in on a 2001 Sierra Elevation? So then I watch these YouTube videos, and it's actually kind of it's a secretive spot, so I like that. So you have to pop off a little thing down by the fog light, and then there it is. So I had like a butter knife.
Yeah. And you had gloves on the entire time, correct?
Gloves on, and I had this little flashlight that was helping me because it was dark out. It was like 9 o'clock at night. So I popped this off. I'm feeling great about myself. I'm like, oh, I found it. I went into my wife and I said, be ready for good times because I've just done something manly. So then I pop it off. I grab my cord, like my big long extension cord, go walking out, have a little plug in, open it up, and you can't plug into it. You need a separate cord that plugs into the block heater and then into your cord.
And it's late at night.
So
you're
like,
kind of final hour here.
Where's this cord? Nobody told me about the cord. Yeah. I don't have a cord. So I was like, I was getting ready to go to Canadian Tire. I was like, oh, Canadian Tire, find this cord.
Jeez.
And then Tam's like, well, maybe you should look around the truck. I'm assuming when they sold you the truck, the cord must be there. I was like, yeah, that's probably right. So I look in the back of you can lift up the back seats, and I look, and there's like the jack for changing the tire and stuff, and I open it up, I can't find it, I go back in, I was like, so then I'm on YouTube Googling, I'm like, where is the cord for the truck, for the block heater plug-in? Like, where's the cord hidden?
You're asking YouTube now, like, personal questions.
Yeah.
Where did I put my...
Yeah. So then I'm back out, and I lift up the hood again, and I got my flashlight, and I'm looking around to see if, like, the cord is stored somewhere, like, by the engine. couldn't find it. And then I was just like, damn it. So then I was like, well, what am I going to do? I don't have the proper extension to plug in this thing. So then I go back out to the truck and I look in the glove box and there it is.
Well,
but I got beef. I got beef that we need to have a secondary cable to plug in the block heater on trucks. I might not even have gotten a truck if I knew I had to have a secondary cord. So that was frustrating last night. So that's what I got beef with.
But you appreciate the hidden aspect. There's that, hey? Like now that you know the process.
I like where the plug-in is, where the actual plug-in is hidden. Because you'll never know.
Yeah.
But the fact that you need another cord, because once I got to the hidden part, I was like, oh, and now it just opens up and I plug it in. And it's like, no, I don't have this plug-in. And I wasn't stupid enough to try to jam a regular plug into that. I was just like, this is not going to fit. So anyway, that's why that's my beef. But if you're looking for beef, there's no better place to get it. The finest of cuts at the Acme
Prime.
Acme Market.
Very prime.
Yeah, you cannot go wrong. Nobody's ever been disappointed. And if you want to watch Corey cut up a dead animal, he'll do that for you.
Well, it's like old style. It's kind of like, Peaky Blinders type of stuff. You know,
I view it as you're not really getting the best meat unless it's wrapped in meat paper.
Yeah.
That's just how it works. And all of Corey's meat is wrapped in meat paper.
Nobody raps like him and William Huff.
Yeah. Exactly.
Neck
Same
and
type of thing. They're both very jealous of each other. All right, so there you go. That's I got meat for Acme Meats. By the way, we're running a little bit low on show meat.
Just putting that out.
Could use a little bit of a fresh run on pepperoni and jerky.
Could have a chew.
Corey, thank you for that. We got Scalding Hot Takes coming up. Dave Naylor's going to join us, the CFL, looking at some possible changes to kickoffs. So we'll get into that in a little bit. Some quarterback contract restructuring as well. We'll dive into that. No shortage of things to discuss with our next guest, though. Ian Rapoport joins us for Century Casino Sports Bar and Lounge. We'll be there for our Super Bowl party, which is going to be an absolutely amazing time. We're looking forward to it. Our 6 o'clock lager will be available at the casino. It should be good. But it's that week in the National Football League where coaches are being elevated to advisors. Coaches are parting ways mutually. Coaches are just straight up being fired. Rap Sheet, where does this week compare to other weeks for you as the busiest week on the calendar? YouTube Trev will get it sorted out. Trev's going to work on it. You had him, didn't you?
The silence speaks volumes.
Yeah. Did we lose him? He's still there? We'll try to get him. I want to talk about Bill Belichick. How much more do you think Bill Belichick has left in the tank?
And now,
is it a good idea to bring in Bill Belichick at this point?
Just seems like it's Patriots and him, and that's all, together, and you move him out of there, and what are you doing? You're getting the name, right? But as you mentioned, maybe kind of running on fumes later in the career. Chargers, Falcons fans, where are you, right?
Well, but unless he comes with Tom Brady, what are you expecting to get? Rap Sheet an hour ago tweeting out that Jared Mayo would be the top in-house candidate, viewed for years as a possible successor. Vrabel, also available.
Now that's...
And it says for Bill Belichick, the Falcons may be an option as well. But if you look at what has happened to the New England Patriots since Tom Brady left, why would you all of a sudden want to think at this stage of the career Bill Belichick is still the guy? Unless, now Atlanta's not a great spot simply because they don't have a quarterback at this current moment. But if the Chargers were to go to Bill Belichick and be like, hey, you want to come work with Justin Herbert? Think you can work some magic
something
here?
There, yeah.
I mean, maybe there's something to it there, but the Atlanta Falcons one just doesn't make a lot of sense.
In a crowded LA market for the Chargers, I mean, certainly bringing in a guy with that name and that pedigree does give you a bit of cachet, I guess, in the market, but
I don't know. To me, that one seems a little...
The Vrabel thing, though, and his ties, obviously, playing days with the Patriots, I mean, that would be something as a Pats fan that I would be jumping
I could see why that name would pop up. Falcons have requested permission to interview Niners DC Steve Wilkes for their head coaching job. I'm assuming a number of the members of the coaching staff from teams like the Niners will be sorted out around the league. But Bill Belichick, will address the media at 10 o'clock our time today.
No answer on the second call.
You know what he's probably doing? He's probably breaking some news.
Something's going down.
That's probably what's happening.
Yeah.
I bet you that's probably what's happening.
He'll call back. He did it when you guys were away. So.
Oh, really? What happened? Was there breaking news then, too?
I don't know what happened, but he didn't answer, and then all of a sudden he called back. So we should be good.
Let's watch his Twitter just to see.
He has a habit of doing this
comes up
mid
right
conversation
now,
with you in the past, and
yeah,
maybe it's a Harbaugh thing or something. Eh? Ooh.
Well, we were going to get into that a little bit.
But it's been a hell of a couple of days, as you mentioned. I mean, the variable thing, Carroll, Nick Saban as well in college, Harbaugh, whatever might happen there. And then Bill Belichick
What do you think should happen with Harbaugh? Like, if you were Harbaugh, would you take a crack at the NFL at this time? Or would you just stay in Michigan? I mean, the money's the money. The dude's going to get paid a ridiculous amount no matter where he stays. So do you stay at Michigan and try to continue to develop that legacy?
There was that whole stuff going on behind the scenes with the
there was stuff going on.
Maybe you just kind of want to get away from that and
avoid that. You got your championship, 15-0 season or whatever it was. Go try something else.
Like the Michigan thing, getting them where he got them after all those years. Like that's to me that's a fairy tale wrap. What else you go back to back. I mean, that's one thing, but it just seems like you've done everything you did there, and I just selfish purposes. I'd like to see him back in the NFL.
Yeah, I think I'd probably like to see him
market be damned, and I don't know where it would fit for him or what would be the best fit for him personally or from team wise, but
Vrabel to New England for sure. Belichick should just retire. That one in at 780-218-9999. 780-218-9999. Rapoport was trying to unmute his phone, but his gloves were too thick.
Ding ding.
That's a pretty good one as well. All right, let's just take a look at a list of head coaches in the NFL right now and which jobs. So we know what jobs are currently available. We'll see how it plays out through the postseason and if there could be any changes there as well. Atlanta, Carolina, Raiders, Chargers, Patriots, Seahawks, Titans, and Commanders. That's a lot of teams looking for a head coach right now. So let me throw this at you.
Like Panthers with that ownership debacle and everything, and then you got the Commanders is just total opposite. I mean, that's almost like a fresh start. You kind of go there. Snyder's gone. Everything's kind of gone. You got the whole place to yourself. Panthers, I wouldn't want anything to do with that organization.
Yeah. Let me give you one more time. Let's not try to rank these, but let's look at maybe the top couple options. Atlanta. Well, I'll come back to Atlanta. Carolina, I want nothing to do with it. The Raiders, meh. Chargers, intrigued. Patriots, no thanks. Mind you, I would take the job and anoint Nathan Rourke starting quarterback immediately. Seahawks, could be convinced. Titans, I'm not sure where that train is headed. Commanders, some decent pieces there. What would be your number one choice?
Like Falcons right now, and I think you and Huss were talking on the lock shop yesterday that there's no rebuild. They want to win. They want to win now. And in that division, Dusty, when the Buccaneers are winning, division titles at a 500 clip, there might be some opportunity there. Again, I think I could go over this list and go over the have-nots and places I would avoid if I was, on the job market. But I think Falcons might be an attractive one in the LA market, especially too. You mentioned Justin Herbert. I mean, it's a plug and play thing there. You kind of go in, you have some pieces, attractive pieces. It's a nice market.
You also could have a chance to bring the Chargers to relevance,
right,
in the market too.
And
it's like what a Harbaugh could possibly.
And it's not like the Rams are sucking the oxygen out of there or anything like that. So you could really kind of make some noise and do something there. Seahawks, obviously. I mean, there's I think there's attractiveness there just based on where they are and everything. And if Carroll stays around, maybe you don't have as much say as you want, but Commanders too, fresh start, like just total clean slate. You go in there.
The Falcons have Bijan Robinson. They still got Kyle Pitts, who Arthur Smith could never get going, but he's still a freak at the tight end position.
Austin Mack.
They've got Drake London. They've got CFL All-Star Austin Mack. I think that would be an interesting one.
And that division too.
I
you're
yeah, but there's a lot of coaching vacancies right now. And who knows, maybe depending on how things go in the playoffs, things will actually open up a little bit more. All right, we do have Ian Rapoport. Ian, appreciate the time, man. How you doing?
What's going on? How are you?
We're doing just fine. We were wondering a little bit earlier, like this is a busy week for you. Where does this week rank among the busiest for insider like yourself with all the coaching changes?
It's the worst.
Yeah.
I would say. It is literally the worst. It's the kind of thing where, like, I'm talking to you guys and I know that I'm probably going to miss something. And then when I'm on another phone call, I miss something else. And that's what it's like. And stuff comes from everywhere. Like, I've been up since 4 a.m. with this Belichick stuff. Like, it's just, that's what it's like. But that's okay. I mean, it's good for the fans. It's good for the game. It's good for interest. It's consequential. It's important. So it's all good.
Belichick will speak a little bit later on today. I mean, I think throughout the season you'd kind of seen that this was where all of this was headed. What's the bigger story here? Belichick done in New England, could go somewhere else still. I know you tweeted about Atlanta possibly being the mix there, or the follow-up in New England. Who's going to try to fill those shoes? How do you break this thing down?
Well, I mean, they have Gerard Mayo in the building, and I think Gerard Mayo has long been thought of by the Krafts as the successor. And I haven't heard anything to kind of dissuade that. I mean, that would make a lot of sense to me. He's young, he's brilliant. He was schooled for this. He's a, Belichick disciple. I think that would make a lot of sense. And, they got to go through the process, but I think Gerard Mayo would certainly make some sense. And then, where Belichick goes, and I think Atlanta would be a possibility. Don't think Washington. Don't think Los Angeles. Don't think Seattle. It's not going to be the Raiders. I don't think it's going to be the Titans after the Mike Vrabel thing. I mean, there's just not a lot of Panthers would be a possibility as well. There's just not a lot of places. I think that's kind of the issue. It's the same thing when Brady was, same thing when Brady left. It's like he's the greatest of all time, but there just wasn't a great market, so we ended up in Tampa. I could see a similar thing for Belichick.
How much do you think Bill has left in the tank at this stage of his career in life?
I mean, he's the greatest coach of all time, and he's 72 years old. So to me, even if it's the kind of thing where he coached for 3 more years, I think that would still be worth it. And even if it's not 1,000% what he was, I would say it would still be worth it. So, I think he's got enough left. I don't know that it would be necessarily doing personnel also. I mean, those are 2 full-time jobs. He's going to talk today. We'll see what he says. I don't think he's retiring, but, certainly I've been surprised before. So, it's going to be fascinating.
Which of these jobs, and you mentioned some of them, there are a few others that are available as well. Which of these jobs around the league is being viewed as the most coveted?
Well, there's some really good ones. I'd say the Chargers with Herbert is really good. I would say like the Patriots is something where that's going to take some time. I think the Titans will take some time. I think the Commanders are the number 2 overall pick. That's going to take time. Falcons is really good if you get a quarterback. I think that's what's tough. I mean, if you look at the openings, you have Raiders, Falcons, Commanders, Patriots, and maybe Seattle, where they all need a quarterback. So that's why these jobs are hard. And honestly, that's why these jobs are open, because you need a quarterback.
How does Jim Harbaugh factor into this, and what's the timeline for something like that?
Yeah, I mean, Harbaugh's another one where, like, obviously there's going to be NFL interest, but it's also like, where actually does he go? There's 7 openings. How many? 8 openings now.
Yeah, 8 openings now.
Right,
Yeah.
and like 8 openings now. And like people talk about the Raiders. I'm not so sure about that. I would say Panthers probably not. Chargers, they have some interest. Falcons probably not. Commanders probably not. Titans no. Seahawks no. Patriots no. So there's not a lot of places. So yeah, it's. I think Chargers is a possibility, but I mean that's the problem. Is like he's a great candidate, but it has to be perfect. Probably can't have a GM there. Like, who actually hires him, knowing how much he's going to kind of shake up the building?
Ian, fast forwarding to Tuesday, what's the biggest story coming out of Wild Card Weekend? Gazing into your crystal ball.
It's so funny. Like, obviously the games are important, but like, I have not really thought about the games too much. Being completely honest, it's going to be. I think it's going to be really interesting. Let me look at the games and see, because that's the problem with this time of year. Is like, I'm so focused on the coaching stuff that I basically wake up and I'm like, all right, we got some games.
Yeah. Oh, there's games this weekend too. Yeah, that's interesting.
I'm going to look. Hold on. Let me look right now.
Yeah.
I would say 2 interesting ones. I would say the Eagles playing the Bucks. Bucks are kind of sneaky good, tough, and the Eagles have been playing bad. I would say that. I would say that is will be kind of a fascinating one to watch. Dolphins Chiefs is interesting too. Dolphins have really struggled. Got a lot of injuries on the defensive side of the ball, and the Chiefs offense has been kind of struggling as well. So I mean, do the Dolphins kind of come alive? Do the Chiefs offense fix their issues? I think that'll be a fun one as well. It's going to be unbelievably cold.
Yeah, there's a couple of chilly ones along the way. There's no doubt about that. Ian, as always, man, we really appreciate it. Thanks for the time. We'll let you get back to covering the Belichick story, and we'll catch up with you next week.
Okay, thanks, guys.
There you go. That is Ian Rapoport, brought to you by Century Casino, Sports Bar, and Lounge on Fort Road, where we will be for the Super Bowl. Very much looking forward to that.
Every pause, you're just hinged on the breath.
I was just, every time he paused, I was like, he's going to say he has to go.
Oh, yeah,
because there's news breaking.
the playoffs, yes.
Yeah, the life of an insider, it's disturbing. It's disturbing to me, the life of an insider.
You run a show. We have a company here. Everything. You're a father, a husband, a dad, and everything. Can you imagine what his phone and his data plan, his everything is like? I mean, just on a normal day, but times like this. He mentioned getting up before. I'm surprised he actually went to bed.
Do you think Rapoport replies to every text he gets? Or does he leave a bunch of people on
He is very
red?
courteous. He has been in the past with us.
I mean, he's been great with us.
Yeah.
But this dude's phone must be blowing up, as they say.
Like, you leave your emails and the number keeps going up.
Yeah,
you know, like imagine the texts in there that are.
I would think his text, like his phone, like I have
incalculable.
Yeah, that would drive me nuts. I bet you he's got a lot of unread text messages and emails. He has to.
But he's got to see them all because he might miss them. Right?
He's a busy guy. You can hit us up in the nasty chat. You can text us, of course, 780-218-9999, 780-218-9999. Guys, Bill Belichick is 15 wins away from passing Don Shula in the all-time coaching list. Bill has made Don Shula a blood enemy, even from the grave. He is ruthless, vindictive, makes everything personal, and he's not going anywhere until he passes Shula as a final kick at the guy while being dead. You don't want to make an enemy of Bill Belichick because the power to get you, and when he hits, it hurts. Man, that almost sounds like a text from Bill Belichick.
Thank you, Bill.
Like that's disturbing to me. And I don't want to make enemies of the guy who texted in, let alone Bill Belichick. That's a tough one. I mean, if you were a fan, or if you are a fan, we can ask, of the teams that currently have a head coaching spot: Atlanta, Carolina, Raiders, Chargers, Pats, obviously not going to be New England, Seattle, Tennessee, and Washington. Do you want Bill Belichick as your next head coach? I feel like most of the answers would be no, but maybe I'm wrong.
If I was, no. But
If the Buffalo Bills had an opening right now, would you want Bill Belichick to be your coach?
Well, maybe for the fume. Based on the division. I mean, that'd be highly hilarious, but no.
780-218-9999, 780-218-9999.
Just imagine the look, wearing the coat. You imagine?
Gross. That's gross. If you would like to play Kind of Easy Trivia today, we got a gift certificate to Mr. Mike's Steakhouse Casual. Why not go eat for free, have something delicious, and not have to pay a thing? That sounds real nice, doesn't it? 780-218-9999. Let YouTube Trev know that you would like to play today. Just text us at 780-218-9999. Let them know you'd like to play. And we will play Kind of Easy Trivia coming up. 3 questions too many on the way as well. Dave Naylor's going to pop by. Orange and Blue Breakfast to get you set for the Oilers and the Red Wings tonight. And, of course, we will also have the return of Scalding Hot Takes around 8:45. Let's get to a sports update with Lieutenant Eric.
Bill Belichick and the Patriots expected to part ways later today in a press conference. He leaves Foxborough after 24 seasons and 6 Super Bowl titles. You can join the entire Edmonton Sports Talk crew for Super Bowl 58. We'll be at the Century Casino Sports Bar and Lounge. $10 menu items, drink specials, and prizes throughout the day. Super Bowl 58, February 11th, Century Casino Sports Bar and Lounge, Century Casino, Fort Road, where every day is game day. Oilers' 3-game road trip continues tonight with a stop in Detroit as the club chase its 9th straight win. Tom Gazzola has your Oil Stream pre- and post-game shows. Coverage begins at 3:30 this afternoon right here on Edmonton Sports Talk. It's one of 13 games around the NHL tonight. Just one game in the AJ tonight. Camrose host Drumheller. One game last night saw the Saints top the Crusaders 4-2 out in Spruce Grove. PWHL will break for a couple of days. Action will resume Saturday afternoon with a pair of games. Last night it was Montreal over New York 6-2 and Minnesota over Toronto 3-1. Toronto Raptors 6-game West Coast swing will wrap up tomorrow night in Utah. The club dropping another one in LA last night, 126-120 to the Clippers. 5 games around the NBA tonight. Lakers host the Suns, while the Knicks look to stretch their win streak to 6 when they visit the Mavs. Back over to hockey, the Oil Kings look to snap a 2-game slide. They're at home to the Tri-City Americans. Puck drop 7 o'clock from Rogers Place. This sports update brought to you by Clayburn Services. They are hiring now, looking for journeyman bricklayers and all levels of apprentices. You can start a new career or take your current one to the next level with their well-established mentorship program. Visit www.clayburnservices.com for more.
The Nielsen Show featuring Lieutenant Eric. Only on Edmonton Sports Talk.
.809 on a chilly morning in Edmonton and the surrounding area. We are looking for a high today of just minus 27, minus 30 in the Edmonton area right now. Minus 31 for tomorrow, minus 31 for Saturday, minus 28 for Sunday, with overnight lows dipping down on the wrong side of minus 40.
Plug him in, hey?
Which is kind of insane. Like, that's nuts.
Winter, baby.
Yeah, pretty much. Winter. Classic. All right, Trev, who do we have today, bud?
Today we have Northside Neil.
Northside Neil is going to play Kind of Easy Trivia today for Mr. Mike's Steakhouse Casual, the casualest place ever in the Hampton Inn on the corner of 137th Ave and Mark Messier Trail. We do suggest the sirloin bites. They are to die for.
What were you talking about, though? The chicken, though. You were saying something about the chicken.
It's like
there,
Nashville chicken
There we
things.
go.
They're
Yeah, okay.
apparently unreal, too. Also out in Fort Sask, try the classic Mike Burger. And I would put Mr. Mike's fries up against any other fry in the business.
I want to fry off between the Popeyes poutine and the Mr.
Actually,
Mike's
you know what?
fries.
We could do a fry off.
Fry
That would be
off.
fun.
Yeah.
And if you have a restaurant, you have fries. We do a big
Fry bracket.
Fry bracket.
I'm game.
I am all over that.
Yeah,
Yes.
that'd be fun. I tell you, man, Mr. Mike's makes a Final Four run. I swear to God.
Brought to you by the Donair Lair.
Those are absolutely delicious. And they got the 6 o'clocker lager on tap at 137th Ave and Mark Messier Trail. So you definitely want to go and give that a try. You say Northside Neil?
Yes, sir.
Northside Neil is going to play today.
Let's go, Neil.
To get 3 of the 5 questions correct. If he does, he will win that gift certificate to Mr. Mike's Steakhouse Casual. Let's bring in Neil this morning. Neil, you ready to go?
Yeah, man, let's do it.
All right, here we go. I'll start the ticker after I read the first question. Good luck. Who do the Edmonton Oilers play tonight?
The Detroit Red Wings.
Name one player on the Red Wings.
Larkin.
Which LA-based team beat the Raptors last night?
The Clippers.
Who is taller, Kawhi Leonard or Lieutenant Eric?
Kawhi.
What position does Joe Flacco play?
Quarterback.
Boom. 5, 4, 5.
Are you kidding me? That's right. Who do you think you are? I am. Get it right. You can't have a newcomer come in and steal the show.
That's a paddling.
Oh, we've been strong. We're just playing by the rules.
Ooh, you better believe that's a paddling.
And I was in Miami with my new beach house. Well, it was a couple minutes from the beach.
That's a paddling.
The first year we took it to the limit.
You cannot come to my house. No, not today.
You cannot come to my house. No, not today.
Thursday morning, Club Beat Loop, Jags Fan Edition, provided by Northside Neil, getting the job done today on cruise control. Even had time for a little chuckle on the Kawhi Leonard question.
Yeah, cute one, Dusty, but he's like,
you got it.
Don't phase me.
Didn't get rattled. Banged out the 5th one, 5 for 5, lock it up, call it a day.
That's how they do on the north side.
Really nice.
There's no fooling around.
There's no fooling around on the north side, that's for sure.
They're built different.
This text is in. It came in at 7:30 this morning, 780-218-9999, 780-218-9999. Hey, you guys, my wife and I are 7.5 months into touring all of Canada and now exploring the southern U.S. We've put on 32,000 kilometers, and there have been a couple of things. I don't know what that means.
Oh, I replied saying,
a couple of issues. Yeah.
I mean, there's got to.
Well, that's going to happen.
It's an interesting experiment along the way. You run into a lot of different scenarios and things you got to solve, like problem solving on the road and everything. It's like exploring the frontier, right? Like you're kind of.
That's exactly what it is.
You're out there and you're just.
Imagine how much easier discovering all of the areas of North America would have been if you had an RV.
Even I say this.
That'd be great.
In the morning, you go to get the coffee.
Yeah.
It's dark. We're coming to work. There's always like a semi heating up. And I always wonder, like, that guy, he's got a long trip ahead of him. A
long haul.
What adventure is in front of him? And sometimes one of these mornings, I'm not going to show up because I'll say, excuse me, can I ride along for the trip?
That'd be good.
Because it's just, I don't know, it just seems like.
Just let us know. Just let us know. One of the things we are discussing, and Arcan might be able to make it possible, Anthony Henday show. Not just a show, Anthony Henday Day at Edmonton Sports Talk, where we take one of these RVs with Starlink so we can stream, and we just drive around the Henday for 7 straight hours.
Now, we did the Henday trip with Jerry. We were cracking packs. We did the trip. It was, 45-minute, I think?
Yeah, about 45 minutes. But we're going to do it for 7 hours. We're going to go, Maddie had this idea yesterday. We're going to go and pick up the hangout guest in the RV just from their house. And then they come sit in the RV, and we just continue to drive around the Henday. And people can drive around the Henday and find us. We'll do this in the spring.
If you see us,
we're
give us a honk.
This is the thing.
Give us a honk, and you.
It's just going to be a huge-ass RV with a big Edmonton Sports Talk sign, and we're just going to be driving around the Henday from 6 in the morning until 1 in the afternoon. All the shows. That'll be amazing. And we think it's possible. So,
Starlink, anything's like,
yeah. Come on. Who hasn't wanted to do the Anthony Henday show? We've been talking about it for a while, but it looks like we might actually have the things in place to execute this bad boy, which would be a lot of fun. Can you imagine Christopher Columbus discovering North America if he had a yacht? Like just a nice big old yacht, and he found land, and he's like, damn it, I really like my time on this yacht. He didn't want to discover a new continent, you know?
Maybe he was a seafaring boy, yeah. He just wanted to remain on the sea.
Yeah, that would have been way easier. Much more of a luxury life back then if you had some of these.
Is HR Daddy going to join us on the old Henday? It seems like it's tailor-made for him.
He drives a motorhome.
He'd
Might
know
have
what
to
to
get
do.
HR Daddy up here to drive that day for us. Yeah. If you ever want to go around the Henday going 75 kilometers an hour, got the right guy for you. All right, let's get into 3 questions too many today because we got Dave Naylor coming up here in about 5 minutes. Lieutenant Eric, do you have a liner for the segment?
3 questions too many, brought to you by the great staff at Park Mazda and dealer principal Mitch Lewicki, who he already says is your official vehicle behind getting towed by the RV on the Henday show. Your dealer for life.
That's
like
a good idea.
They will supply the Mazda that you tow behind the big ass RV.
I mean, well, you got to have one.
You got to have that little
Right.
compact that's
You got to have
going
one.
around. Yeah.
Eric, do you have a Twitter account?
I do. It's at Lieutenant_Eric. You can follow me on Twitter. And Edmonton Sports Talk as well at YEG Sports Talk, and you won't miss a thing.
All right, let's get into it. Question. Oh, I got my hot take. Are you trying to read my hot takes?
You've accused me of this already. I think
They're right here. You trying to read
This
these?
is a type of projection that you're trying to pull on me. I'm not falling for this. We're back to the old games again. The game's afoot for hot takes.
Guys, before the playoffs begin this weekend, what is the Super Bowl matchup you think the NFL wants to have?
Super Bowl matchup?
Yeah.
Well, what are the colors again, right? Like, aren't we going by that? Isn't it the...
is it logo
San
colors? Is that
Francisco
how it
and
works?
Baltimore, right? Like, that's the...
And then do you want a San Francisco-Baltimore Super Bowl?
Well, what do you want? You want, from an NFL point of view, you want eyes, you want money, you want viewership, you want look, the Cowboys, Dallas, America's team.
Yeah, that's kind of greasy.
I know
but
this
yeah,
is.
you're
I know
probably
this is going to rub everybody the wrong way, including myself. But the Cowboys and
Cowboys and the Chiefs.
Chiefs, sure. I mean, yeah. You get the Swift factor that carries on, right? Take her all the way to the Super Bowl. Can you imagine that? I sure take a back seat,
Cowboys Chiefs. Is that the Super Bowl they would want? Cowboys Bills? Would they rather have Cowboys Chiefs or Cowboys Bills?
Chance for us to exercise some demons there as a Buffalo Bills fan.
This
I
show
wouldn't mind
wants
that.
Lions Bills.
I want Browns Lions. I want Cleveland and Detroit mucking it up in the Super Bowl from Vegas.
Oh, I'm sure the NFL would love a
Flacco.
Yeah, Cleveland Detroit Super Bowl.
Give it to me.
Well, so yeah, I guess the question is, let me see. Where's the question? Not
Bucks and
what
Steelers.
we want to see, but what do you think the NFL wants for the Super Bowl?
Bills Dallas does have that storyline as well, that historical storyline, and Bills Mafia would be all over that. Can you imagine Bills Mafia descending on Vegas for a Super Bowl? Going through baccarat tables in the casino, guys are
I
jumping
can
down,
see that
chips
happening.
flying
That'd be
everywhere.
pretty good, actually. All right, okay, that's a good one. Question number 2, guys. If Brady Oliveira actually leaves the Bombers, where could you see him signing?
Iwanek and I went around the horn yesterday and just going off over the possibility. I don't think it's here in this province.
No, I don't think so.
I think
Calgary's
said-
super deep.
The
Edmonton's got
thing
Brown.
with him, though, is he's the ratio buster in that position.
The
which is
reason
always
that's true, especially for fantasy. But the reason that this comes up is because he tweeted yesterday because the CFL was like, highest paid. And he goes, "Where's the money?" So I think Winnipeg's
and
a
he had
little bit worried
the
right
emoji,
now.
a smiley, and a bag.
Yeah, he had a thinking emoji, and then the bag of money. 'cause
I like the thinking
Everybody wants you want bags and you want bands. That's what I've learned. All right, here's 10 bands. I want somebody to hand me 10 bands one day. That'd be amazing.
This could just be posturing, right? And whatever, and yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know,
but so what about the BC Lions though?
Yes, because and I want to talk about that. You got Taekwon Mizell, but you could argue,
You can make things.
I would
yeah.
switch that out for a Canadian running back, especially Brady
100%.
Valera. Switches your ratio up there, and I think
They're super heavy at wide receiver.
Exactly.
But Lucky Whitehead probably not going to be around. So
No.
then if you're running VA,
you balance that.
Brady
offense.
Oliveira, Keon Hatcher, Hollins, Katoy, like that. I mean,
that's a nice offense.
if the BC Lions had the money, man, I'd make a play on Brady Oliveira for sure.
Depending on where AJ Ouellette might find himself, I mean, probably maybe back in Toronto, but I don't know. I'm going to say Winnipeg as where he will end up. I don't know where it.
All right, question number.
Hometown
I
boy.
still,
Hometown
he's
guy.
a hometown kid
But
living
again,
the
it's got-
dream,
it's
man.
got
He's
us
not
talking.
leaving.
He's got us talking.
But give him the bag. He wants a bag for the Bombers. He
Give
wants
him
the
the bag.
Bombers bag. That's what he wants. Mike O'Shea to walk in and say, "Here's 100 bands." That's what he wants. I just can't see Mike O'Shea walking in and saying, "We got 200 bands for you. Stick around." That would be $200,000, I think. But I'm not 100% sure. I don't know the exact. I think a band is $1,000.
What's the honey? Is there a honey?
Honey bun is 100,000.
A basket of honey buns and.
Question number 3. Boys, at what point should people start to get concerned about Leon Draisaitl not signing in Edmonton? Oh, boy. Spec had this article, didn't he? I haven't had a chance to dive into it just yet. I really want to.
Concern?
Yeah, like at what point would you be like, man, Draisaitl's not going to stay? I'm not at that point yet. I'm not at that point yet.
No? Is this falls off the knee? Like, does this have any attachment to what's been going on recently? And
I just saw
there,
Oilers Twitter was in a bit of a fuss. This must be where this question comes from because Spec wrote an article with Leon saying, Connor's going to do what's good for him. I'm going to do what's good for me. With that being said, I'm pretty sure I heard that clip somewhere like 6 months ago anyway. So
player power, and again, that's kind of on the tip of everyone's tongue and the taste of in everyone's mouth right now. But maybe earlier on in the season, there would be a little more concern with the way things were going. I'm not. Should we be?
No.
Like
not yet. Now, right now, it's just like, oh, we need a reason to panic because things are going well. Like
bingo,
that's
yeah,
what that comes across. It's like, oh, the team's playing really well. What else can we worry about?
Weird sensation that's going on here. Eh?
So I'm not.
Give it a level here. What percentile of concern?
1.5%. Or at 1.5 out of 10, which I guess technically would be whatever that over 10%.
10%.
That's it. I mean, but that's 10%. I would do that with anybody who's going to be an unrestricted free agent at some point. Danny T says, I'll be concerned when it's July 1st, 2025. Exactly.
There you
go. They're going to find a way to pay him what he wants. The only thing that, like, if for some reason they become crap before the end of next year and they miss the playoffs, then maybe you're like, okay, he's put in his time. He wants to go somewhere where they can, but that's not going to happen. They're a legit contender and they will be next year as well. So everybody in panic mode. Let's just calm down. Is Dave Naylor, do we have Naylor? Is he logged in yet?
No Naylor right now.
Did you email him?
Yep.
Yeah.
Is he down in Nashville? Like physically, is he?
Man, I don't keep tabs.
Late
on
night at
Naylor.
Tootsie's, maybe. Well, no, I'm just saying. It's.
I'm pretty sure I saw yesterday.
That place will get you.
I thought he did a hit yesterday from his home studio. Fire him a text.
I hope he's in Nashville.
I want to get. There's a lot to get to around the Canadian Football League, man. We got to get to that. We got the Orange and Blue Breakfast coming up. Oilers and Wings from Mobile One and Blue Water Lubricants. We're going to hit on that. Gager's trying to make his way in here early enough to join us for Scalding Hot Takes as a judge. If not, we'll just connect with him over his phone for his final ruling. But he's in on the hangout today.
Well, he won't be dressed up in the garb anyway. So that's if it doesn't.
We don't have the garb yet. Yeah. But I mean, would like to discuss things with him about wearing a judge's outfit.
Size him up
in the future. McJesus and then says the nice part is no decent team could ever afford him as a free agent. And back to the Draisaitl conversation.
Yeah, Leon Seinseidel, as I believe Strummy flies in the
Leon
nasty
Draisaitl, more like Leon Seinseidel. Yeah. That's a good one. TV Burkle says he's not going to say anything other than what he said. They're all trained. Of course they're all trained. You're not really ever going to get anything out of these guys. That's why it's so great when McDavid goes off on officiating or offside rules and stuff.
Watch back yesterday's hangout. Great 2-hour program.
Real good conversation yesterday.
Things such as that topic.
Sandor's such a beauty. My goodness. Filthy's asking, is Leon content to be Robin? Or does he want to be Batman?
Well, there's an argument there too, or a point to be made.
I'm going to spoil these. I'm going to spoil this for you.
Superman? Are you going to?
The Oilers have 2 Batmen.
The Batmen.
This is like in one of those universes.
Yes.
Where
Marvel this thing for us. Give us the Marvel comparison. What's the?
This is like they're trying to mix
Infinity Stone.
No, I think in the Flash. I didn't watch the Flash, but because I'm not a big DC guy.
I know there's a rift there. Yeah, I get it.
That being said, I still wouldn't mind seeing Aquaman too. But I imagine it. I think in the Flash there was like 3 different Batmans, so that kind of proved that it is capable to bring multiple Batmen together, and that's what Leon Draisaitl's not a Robin. If anything, Connor McDavid's Superman and Leon's Batman.
Well, if you're talking about height too, he's way too tall to be. He wouldn't fit in that.
Yeah. I don't want to throw. I don't want to throw shade. I don't want to throw shade on Robin in general, because a very important character at some times. But I think it's more Superman, Batman. DL says, Dusty, did you see Tort's latest rant on media? I saw it. I mean,
I'm driving in the RV past that thing.
Am I supposed to care about every single thing that John Tortorella says?
No, and he
like
swore
one way
a
or
bit
the
too.
other.
He swore.
Torts, he'll swear a little bit and say, "Geez, you guys." Like, I mean, I don't.
He's a mad old man.
I don't care really.
It's.
So we're not gonna spend a lot of. I'm not gonna spend a lot of time on that. Filthy says the Flash was terrible. Yeah, that's one of the reasons that I haven't seen it just yet.
Strummy says Michael Keaton was the best Batman. Would you agree?
Yeah, I politely disagree on that one.
You're a Clooney guy.
No. I'm a Val Kilmer guy. Christian Bale was my Batman. He always was. Pretty much always will be. Naylor says he's ready.
Interesting.
Trev, did we send you sent the right email, I think.
Yeah. The email that was in the system is what I sent.
Let me see. Let's say this.
I've got nothing on my end right now, Dusty.
We'll see if it's the right one. So, Trevor Harris restructured. Bo Levi restructured.
Mm-hmm.
Jake Mayer? There was another one. There was 3 quarterbacks who've had their...
Well, of course, you got the law firm of MBT arriving here, which is perhaps the biggest news of all in that position.
MBT's here, but I find it interesting that 3 quarterbacks have restructured. Like, is this like a resetting of quarterback salaries around the Canadian Football League, or what's going on here? So we'll get into that. And if you missed it, Naylor had the story yesterday on some possible changes to kickoff rules in the Canadian Football League as well. We're going to connect with Naylor. Let's do an orange and blue breakfast. And then we'll come back with Naylor. Then we'll get to scalding hot takes.
You got to yell audible.
Yeah.
You got to yell Omaha. And
well, he looks like he's connected, but it's a black screen.
Turn the lights on?
Dave, if you're in a room, just turn the lights on a little bit here. If not, we could
I'll do a breakfast with you right now.
No, we could just Trevor, I'm going to text you his number. We could just call him too, bud. And we could just go old school if we wanted. That could work as well. We don't need to keep him for a long time today because we got a bunch of other stuff going on, but I do want to get some thoughts on I texted you his number, Trev, if you want to call him. I do want to get some thoughts on these rule changes because I don't know. I don't think did we come out of the CFL season going, oh man, you know what needs to happen? They need to change the rules to kickoffs. Now I know there was a significant injury in the West semifinal on a kick return.
I'm more intrigued about that the kicking offensive play that the Alouettes are kind of putting down there. That
will continue.
Yeah, and I like it. I'm all for it.
Now, I mean, how many times can you actually sneak that in?
Sure, but I like the trickery. I like having those weapons in your bag there. Albeit maybe you're not using them all that often, but adds a little spice and a little friskiness to the game.
Do you think I'm too much of a hardo on kickoffs just because they're so fun to broadcast?
You might have some sort of a bias there, I guess, right?
But the kickoff is an exciting part of the game. We always bitch about how in the National Football League you never really see any kick returns. It sucks.
But this isn't a wasted play where they kick the ball, everybody goes on the field, and it's just for naught. It's like after a field goal, you have the option of doing one or the other, and this would just add to that option. Like the thing about the NFL is it's just that wasted play, right? That's what ticks everybody off there. But in this case, it's just like the field goal. You have the option, and again, depending on your coverage game or your return game, it's a strategy choice there. So I have time for it. I don't think you need to switch it. And again, the whole switch is not for point scoring or entertainment or anything. It'd just be for player safety. So I'm good either way, but I understand from your point of view and calling the game where your bias might lean towards.
I wonder if the XFL option that they're looking at, which is having the two teams, like the guy will kick it, your returner will be back here, and then everybody else is lined up 5 yards from each other. I do wonder if that could actually make it even better than it is right now. I haven't watched do we have any XFL folks who are watching or listening this morning? The XFL return rules, was it basically just a guy would catch a ball and run into a pile 5 yards in front of him anyway, or do you think it helped the return game? Because I'm kind of intrigued by that as well.
I'm gonna watch one right now.
Yeah, but you have to remember, be a different field. I mean, another body too, but I don't know. I'm trying to think like a guy like Mario Alford or Janarian Grant, who are just sensational returners.
You got a lot of track there that you can hit that thing going at a good speed and a good clip as a returner.
Because almost everybody's right at the line, basically. If you find one hole, you're gone. See you later.
And nobody moves until returner gets possession of the ball, correct? That's kind of what I'm seeing here.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. That's kind of how it has to work.
Yeah, that's interesting. I mean, and again, to your point, too, I'd experiment, showcase it in a couple exhibition games. Why not? I know that'd probably drive coaches.
Yeah, I think you could probably mix it in some exhibition
I wouldn't
games.
mind seeing it just to see how it takes on the field, dimensions, but...
780-218-9999, 780-218-9999, or you can hit us up in the nasty chat as well. Dusty dropping multiverse science. Love it. That one's in from Scoobs today. Hey, boys, if Leon isn't signed by the start of next season, he needs to be traded. You can't let him walk to free agency for nothing. So this is the last playoff run that you are guaranteed to have both Connor and Leon. That's not panic. That's reality. That comes from Paul down in Calgary this morning. So we can't get Naylor on the phone either?
No, straight to voicemail.
Okay. Dave Naylor hates us. That's it. I'll just say. He's probably driving to Buffalo, I would think, for some playoff action and probably having some issues there. So it's all right. I was just going to get angry anyway when he says it's going to be one or the other, because I still want the option to be leave returns the way they are and go from there.
I was hoping he was in Nashville, but I don't think either of us are going to get our wish.
Joe Belineski's calling out Paul in Calgary, saying, how can we trust somebody from Calgary? He's right. He's right at the border.
Well, you don't want to be messing around there, hey?
No, you don't want to do that. Matty Iwanik's here. I know it's not nice to laugh at a guy in a sling, but it is funny when he walks in his one arm, like the arm of the jacket's hanging down.
Yeah, I mean, you can't help but.
Are you wearing gloves? You're not wearing gloves either? It's minus 37 with the wind chill out right now. You're wearing a toque? You only need one glove, yeah. Yeah, but if you're wearing a toque in the car, I would think you wear a glove in the car,
If your arm was healthy, if you had access to both.
You usually do. Okay, yeah, it makes sense. Because it's winter, right? So you come from a parquet, but you would still wear the gloves. I like that. Yeah.
Usually have them in the car. Exactly.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, do we have him?
You love it?
Okay, let's bring Naylor in quickly. I didn't think we were going to get him. Naylor is going down to Buffalo, I believe. And he's gonna join us right away here. Trev's just gonna set him up. We'll get into that. We got Orange and Blue Breakfast coming up as well. Scalding Hot Takes returns, but we do need to get the bottom of this kick return thing, and I want to talk about the quarterback restructuring a little bit as well. Let's go to Dave Naylor. Dave, there you are. You got through the border. They allowed you in.
I may have to interrupt this call to answer a question or two along the way, but hey, it's multitasking.
You're going through right now.
I am like barely across the rainbow, the Peace Bridge in Buffalo.
Do you have any fruits or vegetables in the car we should know of?
Yeah. Do you have $10,000 in goods?
No, but as my cameraman, Peter Bradley, this morning pointed out to me, I actually have a coffee that I brought home with me from Nashville yesterday, put in my fridge last night, and I'm bringing back. Put it in the microwave before I left this morning. I'm bringing back into the U.S., but it originated in the U.S. This coffee it's a passport.
Wait a second. Are you saying that you didn't drink? Is this, Dave, is this a fresh coffee or is this a coffee that you didn't drink but you brought all the way back from Nashville and kept it?
I fell asleep on the plane back from
Okay.
Nashville yesterday. And so when I walked off the plane, I had a full coffee with me. And by the time I got home, I still had like more than half of it. So I threw it in the fridge this morning. I leave it early. I saw it was there, threw it in the micro, took it with me. And Peter pointed out to me, he goes, this coffee has been across the border twice.
Yeah,
the air miles it's tracking.
Man, you gotta probably drink this coffee at some point, Dave. Like, that's pretty crazy.
There's only a couple sips left now.
All right, so you were
it's a long life.
you were down in Nashville. So
Yes.
let's start with the possible rule change. Like you said, they're
Yeah.
going to go to the committee and then they'll discuss. Is there still a chance that things stay the same, or are they going to choose between these two kick returner options?
Well, just so I can explain a little bit about how the rules process works in the CFL. Just based on going into the winter meetings, they go with what they call informal rule discussions, where things that are brought up over the course of the season or that the league notices from different data they keep, and they go in with a number of ideas that they want to talk about with the coaches and GMs at the winter meetings. And then from out of that, they get sort of some sense of maybe those rules will be the proposals will be refined a little bit. Maybe there'll be things added, maybe there'll be things taken away. But in the intervening time between the winter meetings this week and the combine in March in Winnipeg, they refine those. And that goes to a more formal process, which is known as Rules Committee. This is not Rules Committee this week. These are just informal rules discussion. The Rules Committee is league representative, game official representative, players association representative, coach GM representative. And that's where you would have to actually have a vote, and then it would have to be rubber stamped by I believe the Board of Governors to have a rule change. So we're at the informal stage of this one. And I threw some kudos out to the CFL on Twitter last night, because this part of the process used to be secret, which as a reporter used to drive me nuts because, it just seemed, look, we're looking for talking points, right? To get people thinking and talking about the CFL in the off season, and you have all this business going on. So, they're actually sharing, what was in the rules discussion. And I was the only reporter in Nashville down there covering these meetings. So I got access to this, and it's started to, look, here's the one thing I'll say before we get into the details of this. I don't think we should be shocked that this issue has come to the CFL, right? Because when the National Football League, whatever it was, 5 years ago, drastically reduced kickoffs, they didn't do that because they thought kickoffs were boring or not entertaining. They did it because the data told them that was where not the majority, but the greatest source of injuries in any area of the game was coming from, okay? That's bad for players, that's bad for costs, that's bad for all those things. That's why the NFL did it. And I get that in Canada, a lot of us, including me and others in the media, have been cheerleading the fact that we still have all our kicks, not like the NFL.
Yeah.
But it doesn't really make sense that kicks are too dangerous south of the border, but not too dangerous north of the border. I mean, the physics are a little bit different, right? I mean, you've got more, freakish players in the NFL when it comes to athleticism and size, and the field is smaller. So there are some different physics. But, I was thinking about this last night. It never really made sense that, it's not too dangerous to and obviously the NFL didn't do it because they think it's a better game without kickoffs. And the CFL isn't looking at this because they think it's a better game with fewer kickoffs. They're looking at it because the same issue that triggered this in the NFL is now triggering this in Canada.
Dave Naylor with us. Dave, is there one way that you think you would lean? Would you go with the option, or would you go with the XFL rules?
When I first saw the XFL thing, when they first did it, I thought it was really creative, and I thought it was kind of brilliant because you get a return on every play.
Yeah.
And you don't get the high-speed collisions, right? And you're not going to get as many great long returns, but we don't get that many of those anyway. It's just so that's just an instinctual thing. When I first saw it years ago, I thought, wow, that's really brilliant, really creative. And I thought the NFL should adopt it. Certainly, I prefer that over what the NFL does, right? Like watching the ball sail into the end zone of a returner's head, and then or a fair catch and scrimmage on the 25. I would take the XFL model over that in a heartbeat. The question is it better than what the CFL is looking at? Now, and understood, in the CFL, you're still going to have a minimum of 2 kickoffs a game, right? One to start the game, one after second half. In the final 3 minutes, when the clock slows down and you get all the scoring, if there's a touchdown, you're going to get kickoffs there. And, for a team that has Janarian Grant, or Drawn Leak as their kick returner, you can opt to take it. It's not like teams can keep it away from you like they can in the NFL where they can just sail it over your head. You can opt to take it all day long if you want with those guys. So because of that, I like the CFL's alternative much better than the National Football League's because it doesn't take the ball out of the return team's hands. It gives the return team the choice.
Yeah.
So I kind of lean towards the traditional kickoffs and just having fewer of them because there could be games where we could still have 7, 8, 9 kickoffs if the teams want to take it. So that's I'm not prepared to go the XFL way. I guess in order, my preference would be allowing teams the option on the 40. The XFL model second, and if you're comparing it to what the NFL does, I think either of those are more desirable than the way the NFL does it.
Dave, quickly before we let you go, a few quarterbacks restructuring their contracts here over the last little while. Is that just the trend in the CFL this offseason or what?
This is the league where certainly if a quarterback has a down year, he's going to get restructured, right? And look, let's be honest. The quarterback has the option when a team comes to him with a restructuring and says, no, he's a free agent, right?
Yeah.
If he says,
Dave, I think you might have muted yourself. I don't know if that's possible. I don't know if you can hear us either.
The border agent's got it.
That's okay. That's okay. Damn. He makes a good point, though.
you got so many teams that are going to be squeezed to try to bring players back. If they can squeeze, 50 or 100, or in the case of Bo Levi Mitchell's restructuring, $200,000 off a quarterback salary, that's money they want to reinvest. I mean, when I was talking to Ed Hervey about that in Nashville, he said, that's basically the pitch they made to Bo was like, hey, we're going to take that money that off your contract and we're going to invest it in, Brandon Revenberg. We're going to invest it in Coulter Woodmansey, guys that are going to protect you and give you a better chance to be successful. I know that's the sales pitch to a guy you're trying to get to restructure his contract, but there's also certainly some legitimacy to it. So it's interesting how the dance card of quarterbacks is filling up though right now. I mean, we're ahead of free agency. And right now, the only team that I can't tell you for sure who their starting quarterback is going to be next season is Ottawa. And that's a pretty unique situation this far away from free agency to see that all in place.
Safe travels the rest of the way, Naylor, and we'll catch up again in a few weeks.
Go Bills!
Hey, yeah, thanks so much, guys. Take care. See you.
There you go. That's Dave Naylor from the border as he tries to sneak into the U.S. again.
A lot to unpack from that, and nothing really having to do with the CFL. I mean, the coffee thing, I just what a move.
I was stunned by that. He bought a coffee in Nashville. Had it on the plane, fell asleep, didn't drink it, but loved it so much that he took it home, kept it overnight, reheated it, and is now driving back down to Buffalo with it.
This is a guy that recycles his recyclables.
Yeah.
It's just kind of
Have you ever brought a coffee from one country and then took it back to the same country less than 24 hours later? Or have you ever, not finished a coffee, then took it home, reheated it the next morning, and took it back in?
After a flight from the airport.
It's coffee.
You got bags. You got all this stuff. You're kind of tired.
Yeah. What a weird day. You and the gloves, and now
come on.
Naylor and this.
It's not nearly as weird as the coffee.
Scalding Hot Takes is going to return in about 5 minutes. Belineski makes a good point. We need a poll. What's more shocking? No hotels in Beaumont. Frankenstein wasn't the monster. I think we throw in this Naylor coffee thing.
Absolutely.
Or you with gloves.
No, there's nothing wrong with that.
It's a little shocking, though. We're just talking about shocking.
I don't wear gloves while I drive. Big deal.
Well, so why do you have them in the car at all?
Because if something happens that you're outside for a long period of time, or I have to dig myself out, or God forbid,
but you
whatever.
Shoveled half your driveway today with no gloves on. It's -37. I worry for you. I'm just worried for your health.
I didn't need to do that. It was just a bit of an experiment.
Okay.
And I just wanted to say, hey, I could only get through half the driveway without bare skin. Like, that's kind of it was a PSA.
48-hour-old coffee. Gross. Gross. All right, let's get into your...
Dave Naylor to his coffee. You're going to live with me.
Dave, is that a text?
Shanzi. Yeah.
Shanzi.
Love it.
Dave Naylor to his coffee.
You're going to live with me now. I'm gonna take care of you. Because I love you.
Oh, I love you, John.
Oh, I love you, Sean.
That's too good, man. That is too good. Shawnzy.
Wow.
That could be text of the day right there, buddy. That's a tight one. Well done, sir. Dave Naylor to his coffee. You're going to live with me.
I love you, Dave.
I love
you too, coffee.
I love you too, Dave. Thanks for not drinking me. All right, let's get into the orange and blue breakfast for Mobile One and Blue Water Lubricants, where they are celebrating an anniversary of Blue Water. How about this? Founded in 1974. 1974. The Blue Water Group is Atlantic Canada's largest ship supplier and Canada's largest independent distributor of mobile branded lubricants. In addition, the Blue Water Group has provided innovative supply chain and warehouse management, plus integrated logistics. God, I love integrated logistics. Specializing in marine and industrial supply since 2002. 2024 is Blue Water Group's 50th anniversary. Thank you to every single one of their customers and employees for sharing their fantastic journey with them. How awesome is that?
Tearing up here a bit.
Do you think Edmonton Sports Talk gets to a 50th anniversary?
Well, 50 what? Days?
I'd be 92. Yeah, hot take for you. Pissed my pants last night.
You'd be wearing diapers instead, right?
Yeah. This is Scully Hot Takes brought to you by Men's Diapers.
Yeah. And everything you lead back in my day, you'd
Yeah.
say.
Matty Iwanek has already served 30 years for serial killing somebody, and he's back. He's back. We brought him back.
Just jacked. Tatted all up.
He's still COO'd from prison.
He could do it.
Yeah.
He could do it.
Yeah. Well, you get a ton done in prison.
Yeah.
Marshall Bokeith Nielsen is in his prime. He's like 55. And he's on the air with us. And he's loving it. I think that's good. We could have a 50th anniversary, man. That'd be fun. Trev, how old would you be in 50 years?
I would be. Wait. I would be. Oh
Well,
gosh,
how
I would be
old are you
80.
now,
Oh
Trev?
gosh, I'd be in my 80s. Yeah.
How old are you now?
I'd be 85. I'd be 25.
You-
Oh wait.
You're 75, buddy.
Oh, 75. Oh yeah, yeah. Oh jeez.
Oh, boy.
Rough day.
The mind.
Trev, I'll just
the
say
mind
I
is
don't know.
easy.
I don't know if you make it to 50 years.
I don't know. Yeah,
can't
I don't
do
know
the
why
math
I couldn't.
already,
Yeah, like I'm like
Yeah.
really good at quick math. That's kind of embarrassing.
Good time.
Apparently you aren't.
I played crib every day with my grandparents when I got home from school.
15-2, 15-4, 15-6, and something.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
Exactly.
But
Exactly.
but I couldn't add that up, so that's weird.
All right, let's get into your orange and blue breakfast. Oilers and the Detroit Red Wings tonight. Some projected line combinations. Gagers here. Scalding Hot Takes is coming up. You know what I was thinking about, though? We don't have a mic. Because we're going to need, Trev, you're going to need your mic. So Gage is going to have to give his ruling off Eric's
It's not like
mic
he's
here,
talking.
so.
We're doing the takes.
Yeah,
that he
yeah,
can.
yeah,
We'll make it work.
All right, Detroit Red Wings. When we last saw them, and it's been a little wait of a while. This was yesterday after practice. Dylan Larkin with Lucas Raymond and Perron. JT Comfort with Patty Kane and DeBrincat. Kopp with Fisher and Rasmussen. Valeno with Sprong and Robbie Fabry. Not a bad lineup. Jake Wallman, he might pop up on the injury report here. He's listed as day-to-day right now. Mo Sider, Ben Sherratt, Jeff Petrie, The Ghost, and Justin Hall. Not a bad back end either, actually. This will be a good game tonight here against the Detroit Red Wings. For the Edmonton Oilers, we'll see what ends up happening with Sam Gagner. Could draw back in here. I think I saw that yesterday online. Connor McDavid, Hyman and Nuge simply can't touch that line right now. Draisaitl, Fogle, and McLeod. Connor Brown was with Derek Ryan and Evander Kane last game. Nah. And then James Hamlin with Janmark. And Adam Ernie, Blue Line's going to say the same. Nurse, CC, Ekholm, Bouchard, Kulak, and Vincent Desharnais. As for a list of guys who aren't tough enough to play hockey tonight, where are you going?
Well, you mentioned Wallman, day-to-day illness. Red Wings also have Ville Husso on the IR and Klim Kostin. Remember that name. Also on the IR. And for the Oilers, Sam Gagner listed today as day-to-day, but as you mentioned, too, could be drawing in. Other than that, a clean bill of health for Edmonton.
What is your key to a victory tonight, LT?
Well, I know Luke Gazdic was not a firm believer in the Detroit Red Wings.
But he doesn't hate them as much as the Senators
He
fans.
doesn't hate anything as much as the Senators. The forward group, decent. You mentioned the back end. I don't mind it either. I'm going to say just get shots. The goaltending tonight, whoever they go with. I know you mentioned there could be a third in there, but Leon Reimer, get the shots on net, shot volume. danger chances, pepper that net, get in front of the net, get on the net, get on the goalies, and that could be a key to the victory tonight. The weakness for the Red Wings, perhaps in the crease.
Dave Naylor has tweeted me a picture of his coffee.
Well, he still has it.
Yeah, it's from Kitty Hawk. I bet you this coffee was expensive.
Even still, though, I mean, this is an ironic move. That's what it is. He keeps stuff in that freezer for
Yeah, Dave Naylor wants a piece of Maddie's chicken that he's been saving.
Exactly, yeah.
Or the spicy chicken. All right, so there you go. Game day prediction tonight. I mean, I hope the Oilers score 4 goals because we have them over -3, over 3.5 for the team total at -135. That was your lock shot play of the day. I will go bottom 6 goal today. That's a ballsy call. That means it has to come from Kane. Or whoever else is in the bottom 6.
Yeah.
So fingers crossed Kane scores a goal tonight. But I'll say they get something from the bottom 6 tonight against the Detroit Red Wings, and that will lead to a 9th win in a row, tying a franchise record. I do think they get that done tonight. All right, should we bring back Scalding Hot Takes here? What, Trevor, are you nervous right now?
I'm not gonna lie, yeah, I'm a little nervous.
Trev's looking a little nervous over there right now. We'll see how that goes. Let's get Gager here. Let's get another chair for Gager. We'll slide him in here. He likes that chair, Gager. He was push another one in here. Joaquin Gage, the judge. Gager, you're going to have to share a mic with Rick because Trev's got the other mic and we need to hear his takes. So.
I'm good at math. You were awful at it. I am actually good at math. I refer to that was bad. I swear. Or your honor.
Okay. Well, say that into the mic there.
Now, Dusty, it's no longer Gager.
Okay.
I will be referred to as Judge or Your Honor.
Holy.
From this point forward.
From all of us, like even
Your Grace.
Is that something that you're just?
You need to approach the bench to talk to me. I've been watching a lot of Suits. So.
Buddy, I'm rewatching Suits right now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I've watched Suits like 3 times. I'm rewatching it right now. It's my while I'm doing work rewatch, and man, I am loving it right now. So that's good. All right, well, let's get into Scalding Hot Takes. Gager is here. We'll talk to him after about his strategy, but he's got a notebook. Eric, are you trying to sneak a look at his notebook right now?
I ain't doing it. Stop projecting. You're accusing me of everything left, right, and center this morning. I'm just
you just don't know.
I'm just ready to take.
Just not sure how it goes. You two, Trev, you're moments away from dropping your first hot takes. Where's the level of anxiety at right now on you?
I don't know why I am so nervous, but I am pretty nervous right now.
Don't be worried about being nervous. I still get nervous for Scalding Hot Takes.
Yeah,
We've been doing it for over a decade.
Okay.
Yeah. Scalding Hot Takes.
Who goes first? Oh, yeah. Sorry.
Well, you don't have to say sorry, buddy. That's a good question. Eric is the defending champion.
I am.
And yeah, I got all these cables here. I'm gonna grab the mitt. We'll set it in the middle. Gager can have it.
So it's just you 3.
Correct. Yeah, it's just the 3 of us. It'll always just be the 3 of us. Scalding Hot Takes brought to you by Clayburn Services. Huge shout out to the crew over at Clayburn for helping us bring back Scalding Hot Takes. They are hiring now. They're looking at all levels of apprentices. They're looking for journeyman bricklayers. They've got jobs coming up. You can go in. You can make a whack load of cash. Go work hard for 3-4 months. Get enough money, and then just chill if you want. Or you just keep working. ClayburnServices.com is where you can go and find out more information on them. They are the industry leader in safety, which is important to a lot of people as well. And yeah, huge shout out to the crew at Clayburn for making Scalding Hot Takes a thing. This will be the bed that you guys will hear, just to kind of give everybody you'll hear this.
Time now for Scalding Hot Takes.
And then I got some baking sizzling underneath the takes.
Sizzle.
So that'll be good. So Trev, how it will work is Eric will go first because he's the defending champion. Which way feels more natural? You guys want to go clockwise?
Oh,
Trev, you'll get the hammer. The hammer's a good thing to have.
Hammer's
your very
great,
first
yeah.
time. So
nice.
So Eric will say a take. I'll play a Rick Pinter clip. I'll say a take. I'll play a Rick Pinter clip. You'll say a take. I'll play a Rick Pinter clip. All right? We good to go?
Oh, crap. Yeah, let's do this. Let's do this.
All right. I'm going to start this. All right, Scalding Hot Takes us back. This is very exciting. Eric, I'll point at you when we're good to go because I'm going to flip over to the Pinter sounds. Here we are. Let's just see.
Hot take alert.
Okay, those are good to go. Here we go. Scalding Hot Takes. begins now.
Time now for scalding hot takes.
The only glove I need in the winter is the one with the cats on it.
Careful, that takes hot.
Low tide. Just say the words, nobody misses the Expos, and we'll come rescue you.
Hot take alert.
Gloves are for softies.
That's a hot take.
It's not that cold as long as the sun is up.
The hottest of takes.
The Schneid has started charging Connor Brown rent.
Wow, scalding hot take.
My blood alcohol level is higher than Jack Campbell's save percentage.
Careful, that takes hot.
Bill Belichick is nothing more than a systems head coach.
Hot take alert.
Rodgers blew it so bad on the McAfee show, you'd think it was an NFC championship game.
That's a hot take.
Forget about LeBron James being the greatest of all time. He's not even top 3.
The hottest of takes.
Taylor Cornelius will pass for more yards this upcoming season than McLeod Bethel Thompson.
Wow, scalding hot take.
Serial killings in Edmonton have been cut in half since Maddie's arm was placed in a sling.
Careful, that takes hot.
I hate mustaches.
Hot take alert.
Bo Levi Mitchell signed back on in Hamilton due to Dusty and Glenn Suter's burgeoning love affair.
That's a hot take.
Tommy Gazzola would hate this take if he'd shown up yet.
Wow, scalding hot take.
I don't know what's colder, Connor Brown's season, the weather, or Dustin Nielson's hot takes.
Careful, that takes hot.
Hey,
woo!
Scalding hot
takes.
What use of the hammer?
The rookie comes in good with the hammer. And now we go to Your Honor, Joaquin Gage, to break this down. The pace of this must be tough to track, Gager.
This was...
Your Honor.
Exactly. I am in... That's a fine. Dusty will be fined for referring to me as Gager during Scalding Hot Takes. We will have to iron out the finding system. But it's good to be back.
No, it's great, isn't it?
It's great to be back. This was amazing, actually. I wasn't sure with the rookie. You can't come in here and steal the show like he just did. And this was a runaway for Scalding Hot Takes. I can't believe he came in here nervous at the start and completely dominated with my ranking system, which I should post later. But YouTube Trev, well done. The mitt is yours.
Oh, my God.
Are you serious? Holy crap.
Are you serious? Holy crap. Here, Trev, congratulations, buddy. Let's go. The rookie rolls in strong.
Dominated.
Wow.
Holy smokes.
Your Honor, if we can get those up somewhere.
Yeah, it'd be great, Your Honor, if you could place these online. Man, Trev, we had a 3 check mark.
Bailiff.
Oh,
that's Trev.
Wow, thanks, Your Honor. Your Honor.
Yeah, stand up when Your Honor leaves.
Yeah.
Trev, stand. Jesus.
Oh, there we go. Joaquin Gage. And you know what? A strong performance from YouTube Trev, but a strong performance from Gager too, because the Scalding Hot Takes judge usually gets very much criticized, but everybody's like, it's got to be Trev. It's got to be Trev. It's got to be Trev. And
laying down the law. And
he got slippers on.
Yeah, he's...
I respect this place.
Oh, did you wear boots here, though? Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. Makes sense. I've got these slippers I've been thinking about bringing in myself.
But you getting fined?
Yeah, I think we probably got carried away a little bit there, but...
Well, I mean, if this is the precedent, to watch yourselves.
Trev, what's going through your mind right now, buddy?
Yeah, I'm just looking at the nasty chat. I didn't think it was that. I don't know. I'm not gonna lie. I thought my takes were kind of silly, but
they were
apparently, everyone seems to like them. So that's really cool.
They were good. What was your last one? Your hammer one was that? Hammer one was good.
I don't know what's colder, Connor Brown's season, the weather, or Dustin Nielson's hot takes.
Woo! God, that was good, man. I'll say.
Danny T says the Jordan Binnington of Scalding Hot Takes right
Oh, yeah. I like that. Yeah, no, that's... Yeah, wow, that's pretty cool. Look at this. It looks, gloves are for softies, I said, and then I'm wearing one now, so that's kind of funny. But, yeah, this is awesome. So thanks, boys, for letting me be a part. I can't wait to do this.
Defend. Now you
now I defend. Let's go.
All right, there you go. Congratulations. Scalding Hot Takes brought to you by Claiborne Services. Hey, if you're looking for work or you want to try a new career, let's do it. Claiborne Services. They're looking for journeyman bricklayers. They're also looking for apprentices. Visit claiborneservices.com. Check out their website. From the people that I've met over there, great crew. We've had one of our nasties who've texted us, say, hey, my son works at Claiborne. So yeah, that's cool. They're a part of the family now. And if you're looking for work, Claiborne Services can help you make a bunch of cash rather quickly.
It's a great testimonial. That's...
Yeah, I think that's great. That's great. All right, let's get into the grand finale. the wrap for William Huff. If you want your place to look as good as ours, get it done at William Huff. What'd you learn on the show today, buddy?
Scalding Hot Takes is back. The judge is back. I mean, I know that we started things off a little frosty, pun intended, with the glove stuff. But I knew that, going through the show and wrapping things up, it was Scalding Hot Takes. So it's back. Listeners learning it's back. And we kind of also learned a bit about the new judge and how it's going to be moving forward. I mean, I don't think I can go around and say this is a farce, that's a farce anymore. I'll get fined. I'll be broke by the end of the month. So we're going to have to tighten our ship and
this is
perfect our
good.
game.
This is good.
Yeah.
He has a plan.
He has a plan.
We're going to have to get him another mic.
The ranking system is
somehow
good, though.
figure out a fourth mic. Maddie will get on that. Yeah. Only has one arm, but we're going to need that additional mic. We'll figure that out. That was good, boys. That was good. We learned that Naylor has reheated a coffee that he had from Nashville yesterday and taken it to Buffalo today. It's
Somebody
very
said, too, why didn't you
strange.
just fly from Nashville to Buffalo? I don't like your... There's a lot
Actually,
of...
that's a really good point,
He's left
too.
us with more questions than answers, I guess. But
I guess because he would have drive from Toronto to Buffalo anyway.
It's just
but
still
yeah. Yeah, no, that's a good point, too. That's interesting. All right, let's get to your sound of the day. Then we'll get to text of the day. Then the hangout is coming up. Obviously, Gager will be in on that today. Boys, I guess I just have to say, I mean, the sound of the day probably has to be these.
Careful. That take's hot. Hot take alert. That's a hot take. The hottest of takes. Wow, scalding hot take.
It's nice to be back. And, I'll say YouTube Trev has probably already surpassed a number of other people. Like, YouTube Trev is already better at hot takes than Hernan Salas. And Hernan,
It's
I
a
know
hot
you probably
take.
listen.
Oh, yeah.
Hernan's sitting there. Hernan knows. Hernan is self-aware. Hernan didn't even want to do hot takes. I guarantee Hernan would text us and be like, yeah, boys, he's better.
And quick and punchy. It wasn't.
They
it
were
wasn't
tight.
something
They were
like,
good. They were
paragraph
good.
filled. Whatever.
Thanks, guys.
Impressive performance, buddy.
Wow, that means a lot.
You know what?
I appreciate it.
You put in the work. Your probationary period is up.
Nice.
I'm gonna keep saying that forever. Careful.
This
Yeah.
makes up for my math mishap at the beginning of the show.
You suck at math.
Yeah, I do suck, I
mean,
guess.
it's pretty
But
good.
you know what? I stayed up pretty late. I'm not gonna lie. Like I suffer from writer's block, so I was like, but I guess I was worried for nothing. So that's awesome.
All right, let's get to text of the day for A&W. Spicy dill pickle mama burger is back. Limited time only, and of course only at A&W. We are talking grass-fed beef burgers, topped with pickles and onion slice, real cheddar cheese, slathered in the creamy, spicy dill pickle sauce. Absolutely delicious. Text of the day today. I mean, Greg in the Grove was the front runner earlier in the show when he said, I always have a set of gloves, but not for the cold. It's just in case I end up in a duel and I need to slap somebody.
Yeah, that's good.
But then Shawnzy rolling in late and hitting us with the Dave Naylor to his coffee.
You're gonna live with me now. Yeah, I'm gonna take care of you. Because I love you. Oh, I love you, John. Oh, I love you, Sean.
You got it, Shawnzy?
Got
Shawnzy,
it.
congratulations, buddy. Text of the day. What are you watching tonight?
Oilers Wings, obviously, and an early one, 3:30. YouTube Trev, Scalding Hot Takes champion, will be on with Tom Gazzola, 3:30 today. Getting you set. Oilers and Red Wings, 5 o'clock puck drop. And Lakers Suns tonight. Little double dip.
She's a big one.
Double dip.
We'll see,
Busy
we'll
night
see
in
how
the
that
NHL,
works.
too.
Yeah.
Tons of games.
Yeah, this is a nice double dip for me tonight. Very much looking forward to this evening. Should be a lot of fun. All right, Hangout's coming up. It's going to be a good one. Make sure you stick around for that. Get autoplay on YouTube. We'll take you right on over there. It'll be starting in less than 5 minutes. If you're listening online on TuneIn or at EdmontonSportsTalk.com, you get a little bit of Whale and the Wolf, and then the Hangout will be coming up. Lock Shop today at 11 o'clock, and 2 guys in the goalie with myself and Gager. I got to check in with Cass. I don't know if Cass is well enough to join us today yet. He's been sick for a little while, so hopefully Cass will pop by as well.
Get well
soon. We want you to get. Congrats, YouTube Trev, Scalding Hot Takes champion.
Thanks, buddy. I
One for
appreciate
one.
it.
That's a big day right there. Enjoy it, man. Relish it. For Lieutenant Eric, I am Nielsen. Tell your friends about Edmonton Sports Talk. Have a great day and take it easy.